Are we live? 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I think we are. Are we? Boomerang. Whee! Hello, viewer. Hi, everybody. Today it's Sunday, February the 16th, 2025. I am Brune, and I trust you're all doing very well today. On this evening's live stream, where you know what we're discussing the latest news, entertainment, social media, all that malarkey, shite happened, Hollywood, bad shite, real life, blah, blah, blah. If you've not shut down for the evening, lots to get through, shall we get the guest out? You know it. Let's do this. Okay. Dribbling. First, the channel's very own astromech droid. It is Professor R. Ooh.
Hello.
Oh, hello. Whoa, what an avatar, man.
I figure if Anthony Mackie can do it, I might as well.
That's a proper cross franchise.
Mm-hmm.
How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not bad. Should we get this peep out?
Yes, let's get him out.
There's a lot to do tonight.
Lots to talk about tonight.
Oh, yes. Okay. So, is it a bird? Is it a puppet? Is it a puppet? Is it a headland? No, it's Perfect Avatar, Price of Reason.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, you're up, Price.
I'm here.
You are.
Once again, yes.
Price is here, everybody.
I'm
We
here.
all can go home. Price is here, everybody. Are you well, my friend?
Yes, I'm doing pretty well, actually.
What a weekend to be alive, yes?
Yeah, of course. There was a
Classic entertainment. Amazing.
Captain America movie.
Oh, just mind-blowing, yes.
Did you see it?
I did, yes. Did you?
Oh, then we'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh, we will. It's great to have you on, my friend. Shall we get the next peep out?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay. Second time on the channel, folks. He's at a... Well, I won't. He's on pain medication, folks. But he's here, folks. Taking one for the team. It's the faux boss. Whee!
Hey guys, hi
You're right,
everybody.
buddy.
I think most of the medication's worn off by now, unfortunately.
Oh man, you need it for this stream. How are you doing?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me on. And yes, I did see the movie last night.
This is one of the few occasions where I think all the panelists have seen the movie. Why isn't that?
And I was with a couple of teenagers, so I got to get their opinions as well.
Wow. We will save that for when we start talking about said subject. Ista, it's great to have you on, my friend.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Shall we? I've got pussy problem, everybody. Cat, piss off. Come on, piss off. Oh god! Every time I start streaming, the cat wants to sit on my lap. Ah. Shall we get the next peep out, Ista?
Yes.
Okay. I'll give you a clue, everybody. Hopefully he's back. Oh. He's the wise elder of the channel. You know the rest. It is David Diaz. Okay. Hello, Ed.
He's muted.
Earth calling Ian.
Oh, sorry. Just trying to fill in for him here.
Should we just wait for Ian? Earth calling Ian.
Oh, I know how to do a good Ian. It's shit.
It's shit, Ian. Tell you what, we'll leave him there. Okay.
All right.
Wait, hello.
Sorry. I had to do something. But I'm back. Hello, everybody.
Hello, Ian. How are you? See,
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I did leave a message. So there
I know.
you go.
It was a long wee. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing all right. How's everybody? Okay.
Yeah, not bad. Big week for you this week.
Why? Huh?
Well, one, you're here, obviously.
Big-
And two,
Oh.
something's been happening. Something's going down, isn't it?
I'm confused. What's going down? Hello?
Indiegogo.
Indiegogo.
Oh, the Indiegogo campaign. Yeah. Sorry. Forgot all about that.
Shall I start again? Shall I start the stream again, everybody? It's been a short stream, everybody. Good night. We'll see you next week.
No, I mean, it's going fine. It's been 4 days. I think I've raised 390 quid so far.
Nice.
Yeah, for 4 days. So hopefully it'll get higher. I haven't got much of a social media reach anyway, so I'm not expecting.
Don't worry, we'll do it for you. Don't worry.
Yeah.
We'll do
I'm
it.
hoping that people
Don't worry.
take pity.
The amazing chat will come through for you. Don't worry.
I hope so.
Okay. Ian, it's great to have you on, mate.
Yeah, it's good to be on.
There is another.
There is another.
Okay. One of the OGs of the channel, everybody. It's been a while. One of the OGs. Can you believe it?
Hi. What's going on, everybody?
Scotty!
It's about time for me to be kicked off of this again.
You're right, bud. How you doing?
How are things? Thank you for having me. This is great. I'm looking forward to talking about this flick and everything else surrounding the show tonight.
You called, didn't you, a few weeks ago, as it were?
I did. I was like an ex-girlfriend from days of
Yeah.
yore. Being like, can I talk about Captain America with you? And you were like, fine.
Yes, I thought, okay. Sometimes you just gotta, for the OGs,
Well, thank you. I do appreciate your pity. It's great.
Scotty, it is a genuine delight to have you on, mate.
Well, thank you. It's a
Okay.
pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being here with all of you guys. And yes, shit is going down this week.
It is some big shit going on. So, shall we do this, folks? So, chat, hello, chat. We can see you. Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Let's get some slides up. Hopefully, the cat will be behave for a moment or two. 262 Musings. Today's date, everybody. Please like, share, subscribe. Please donate the channel. I've given up on the 5k subscribers. It'll happen when it happens, if it ever happens. Channel memberships are open. Okay, so this was the biggie, I do believe.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so
She looks taller in that poster.
she
Oh,
does.
very much so. Yeah, she
She
should barely
does.
be able to peek over that shield unless she's standing on an apple box or something.
I quite liked her in a cute type of way, but anyway.
Well, I have no problem with her or her as an actress. It was simply it was the role and how how absurd it was. Some of the stuff that she does in the film.
Okay, so we've all seen this, yes?
Yes.
Captain America Brave New World, just for the people who listen to this without the pictures. So we've all watched, yes?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'll just say this. LOZ, Wrenched, Water Sports. We won't go there, though. Hello, my friend. We won't go there. Okay, so Scotty, thoughts on African American?
See, everyone's calling it Captain African American. I prefer Blackton America. It just rolls off the tongue a little bit better. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fine. It was like middle of the road, 2.5, 3 out of 5. That translates to like a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
Yeah.
It was better than the Marvels, which I saw, but the Marvels was, a candy pink stove. As far as I'm concerned, there was nothing really incredible about it. I liked this. I haven't seen Quantumania, never saw the Eternals, but I think that it caught me up on recent Marvel happenings. And honestly, I think that this is probably one of the most awake times that I've seen Harrison Ford in a long time, which is always nice.
Sorry, I'm getting pussy problems. Ow! Okay. So, Istophobos, thoughts?
Sorry, I'm still laughing at the cat. Um, um, it's really hard to describe, but if I had to do it in one word, I would say insecure. In two words, incoherent. But it wasn't quite as boring as I expected to be. It also was kind of dreary. Like, I don't think I smiled once during the whole movie. I look over my teenagers, they're on their phones about halfway through the movie.
Didn't you tell them to put their phones away? Because that's really annoying.
Have you ever had a teenager? Do you know how
No,
good they are at listening?
No. Could you not boot them out?
I can boot them out of the car, but I honestly, I felt a little bad for them. It was really not capable. And these are super Marvel fans that usually bug me to go see every Marvel movie on a Wednesday night at the midnight showing, the very first second it comes out. And, they just weren't captivated. And I will say, there's a lot to say about it, but the thing that sticks with me the most is how often the movie needed to remind me that this was Captain America. And that's what I say by insecure. There must have been 100 people 100 times going, "You're Captain America," or calling him Captain America. And it really started to get where it took me out of the movie a little bit. There were a lot of plot inconsistencies and, the insta travel kind of thing, which is, seems like it's endemic to movies these days. But seriously, it's like, aren't you on the other side of the world in 5 minutes? You've crossed, 13,000 nautical miles
away. Yeah.
So, but you know what? It was better than I thought it was going to be. I would say 4.5 or 5 out of 10.
I will say we're all Marvel super fans in a way, aren't we? We all want good Marvel.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I saw Winter Soldier 3 times in the theater, and I don't know how many times home viewing, but I'm not sure. I watched the end of it just to time how much Red Hulk was on, and that was 7 minutes and 33 seconds.
Yeah, 7.5 minutes.
That's not good, is it? Ian, thoughts?
Sorry. So basically,
what are you eating, by the way?
Crackers and cheese. So basically, I didn't think this movie is very good at all. It has a lot of problems. Before I went into the cinema, I was accosted by 5 Marvel people who wanted me to do a survey before I went in there. And it was interesting because they are. So I basically said, Marvel's destroying, your company's destroying Marvel. And they went, how so? And I said, because you're turning the boys brand into a woman's brand. That's what you're doing. Jesus. And you're adding all this gay stuff in there. And they laughed a bit, but then they turned away from me. So, and I just went in. But do you know what? They gave me this form to fill out, right? And do you remember that Men in Black when they gave Will Smith a form to fill out and everybody was having problems trying
to... that was you.
But it's ridiculous, isn't it? Because they give you this form, the lights go out. How are you supposed to fill in it? I don't know without not be able to see the form. Then there's no way to put it down where you can write on it. It's only the armrest. So I didn't fill it in the end. I just thought it was stupid. I sat there and watched the film. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it was still bad. I do agree. Whoever said they kept calling him Captain America every second for the first half an hour of the film. Every moment they call him Captain America, Captain America, Cap, so they can make sure that everybody knows that he's the new Captain America, which was really, really irritating. 2, right? How comes when Harrison Ford changes into the Hulk, his hair is dark at the top and grey at the sides, yet when he's Thaddeus Ross, his whole hair is grey. I don't understand that at all. But there you go. I hated the little girl, thought she was absolutely a terrible actress, and it was ridiculous the way she was taking on 5 men 10 times the size of her.
She was a Black Widow, wasn't she, apparently?
I did not like the Mexican what you call it, the guy with the wings,
Oh,
the new
Falcon.
Falcon.
Joaquin.
I thought he was rubbish.
Joaquin.
He wasn't even funny at all.
Oh no.
He tried to
Shit.
crack
No.
one,
Danny,
tried to
what's
crack
his
jokes.
face?
It wasn't funny. The only good thing about it was Harrison Ford and Anthony Mackie. I thought Anthony Mackie did his best to try and make his
really
character more, more in line with Steve Rogers. But unfortunately, we don't. The characterization of him, it wasn't there. None of the characters I cared about. I didn't care about anyone. And what the fuck was what's his name from Breaking Bad doing in it? He was in it for 5 minutes. What was the point? If you took him out of it, it would have made no difference whatsoever.
Nothing at all.
None.
He was a last
Jean-
minute add-in. He's like an insta villain. Just add water and you get it back.
Yeah.
And
Well, and he
also-
wasn't even.
Carlo Esposito.
Yeah. I'd just like to say, right, you can tell the bits that they put in. Right, the biggest one was when Bucky turns up. Okay, spoilers, by the way. And
Oh yeah, spoilers. Everybody.
when the film started, I was like, he's been ejected with that serum. It's so obvious. Look at the way he's fighting. Look at the way he's fighting. And then Bucky turns up and goes, "You should have taken the serum." And then he's like, "I didn't take the serum." And I'm like, so I reckon they put that in there because they knew on the internet everybody was saying, how could he fight like Captain America? And they were trying to justify why he didn't take the serum. And they knew that was the thing they put in. That was the new shoot, I reckon.
Has he had the serum?
No, he didn't.
No.
Okay, before I forget, this is what I thought when I first watched, when I was sat there watching. You know, when he did all the action set piece at the beginning, I just thought, well, he's not this. He's just a normal person, isn't he? Anthony Mackie character, just a normal person. On a athletic kind of point of view, his VO2 max must be off the scale to do stuff like that. He must be the fittest person.
But they try to basically justify it by saying,
is it the suit helping him?
No, he got trained by the black Captain America that got put in jail for 20 years or something like that. That's how they try to justify it. It's like, no, even if you were a super soldier and you trained an ordinary person, you'll never be able to do the things that he did in the beginning sequence.
Unbelievably fit. Yeah.
With enough training, you're suddenly going to be the same as a super soldier.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're going to be superhuman. No.
He must be the fittest person on earth.
Yeah.
The very first time he lands, he would have just destroyed his legs and they would have been pushed up all the way past his skull. It was ridiculous.
Well, I thought that was sort of the wings dipped in vibranium or Wakandan magic, and it was absorbing the kinetic energy. And they do make reference to it several times.
Yes.
I never really had much of a problem with. Of course, he was going to do superheroic stuff. It's like watching Clint Barton do stuff. It's like, and I felt bad for Joaquin when he gets he nosedives into the ocean. And it's like, oh, this is how we're going to show that regular people get hurt, is that we're going to throw Joaquin under the bus. Okay.
Apparently, we know what it is, everybody. Not Brian Ranch. Hello, Brian. Viagra and Charlie. Highly recommend.
Absolutely.
Joaquin should have been meat pudding, but at least they sort of made him suffer a little bit. He should have been completely obliterated by that fall, but
he was the only actor in the entire movie that looked like he wanted to be there.
Also, right, listen to this. I kind of
appreciated that.
So the climax, okay, is basically Black America taking on the Red Hulk, right? And I kid you not, there's a sequence in it where the Hulk grabs him and he smashes right through the White House, right through it, right?
Yeah.
And then the sequence at the ending where he smacks him one and he goes right through a car and his wings are busted and everything, punches him one, goes right through a car, ends up deep into the road with all this rock things falling in him, and he's still alive. I'm sorry.
He hit him that. He knocked him into next week.
He did. And it wasn't the vibrate, protecting him because it was all broken. He mashed it all up, didn't he? So how did he survive?
I tripped getting the mail.
That shield was doing a lot of heavy lifting.
Anytime the shield and the wings. Yeah, the shield and the wings. Yeah.
May I go?
Oh, sorry. I was just saying, I tripped getting my mail and I couldn't walk for a day. So,
May I bring the price of reason in?
Yeah, bring him in.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I didn't
Go
want to
on, Price.
interrupt anybody. Hey, how's it going? So I thought this movie was terrible, and I'll tell you why. There's a few things that really bother me. First of all, I never liked that TV series they did, Falcon and Winter Soldier. It was a complete deconstruction and sort of ruining the whole Falcon character.
Was a little
All of
bit.
that identity politics and everything they injected into there was annoying. The character of Isaiah and everything that he represented there annoyed me as well, because they made all that whole series about his race, which prior to that series nobody ever talked about his race. He was very well liked. He was well liked as a character in universe. He was well liked, and that show was just a crappy political. One of the most political, heavy-handed things I've ever seen. So when they made this movie, they had one chance to try to just delete, pretend all that stuff never happened, just try to make him go on some kind of mission and do a movie that's escapist. And really, immediately they brought that Isaiah guy back, and none of the things that were in that show disappeared. Just probably with reshoots and editing, they cut a lot of it out. But they planned to double down on that show, and you could feel
Yeah.
it in this movie.
It felt an extension of that TV series.
Right,
Yes.
which
Awful.
is why,
Awful.
first of all, my opinion is fuck them. And the other thing is that you don't get to make a movie for $500 million, and people are like, well, there were parts that weren't so, wasn't there a few scenes that were okay? Dude, the thing cost $500 million. When you make a movie for $500 million, it better be The Godfather. It better be the best movie that ever happened. If it's $500 million and I'm not sitting there thinking this is the best thing I've ever seen, then you're getting a low score because you're a bunch of assholes that made a shitty movie when you could have made 50 good movies. Instead, you made this piece of shit. So fuck you.
I'm just curious. I'd heard reports about the ever inflating budget. I just never found out where any of the sources were from. I didn't like. So where does that overly inflated budget? Where is that information coming from?
I'll tell you what. Initially, I think by their own admission, they said it costs like $200 or $250 million to produce. This was before they kept reshooting it over and over again. You don't reshoot a movie like this over and over again without racking up a serious bill. So while we don't have the exact number, I am telling you there's no chance that this stayed on to, even if it was $250 million, I would be embarrassed if I were them. But it's much more than that. It's the same thing that happened with Rise of Skywalker. They kept claiming that it cost $200 million, $250 million to produce, and that was their thing, and they kept reshooting it. Only about 2 years later, they admitted that it cost 400 and something million. Basically, I don't even know if it broke even at the box office, but they refused to admit it for about 2 or 3 or maybe 4 years. So you may not hear what happened with this movie, but between the marketing cost and the production cost, this thing is one of the most expensive movies ever made, and it doesn't justify it. And I have to take that into consideration when I'm watching something, how much money went into it and how kind of annoying it is. So yeah, I didn't like the movie.
But other than that,
other than that, it was great.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah. Okay.
Also, I'd just like to point out that when I went there, the cinema was half full, and it was mostly kids and stuff. And I, as I said in the green room, I remember when I went to see the first Iron Man, Endgame, Thor. People were so excited; they were like laughing. They laughed at the jokes. They were cheering and stuff like that. In this one, right, everyone was just nonplussed.
Silence.
Didn't laugh at any jokes.
Yeah.
They just sat there. Kids ate their popcorn. Afterwards, they all left. And
I have
the state, isn't it? That's the state of the Marvel now. You know. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I have a source, and I'm going to be as vague as possible because I don't want him getting into trouble. Some people know where I live. I have a friend who actually works at Trilith Studios where this was filmed. And it was kind of a charades thing, higher, lower. But they indicated that it was well over double the amount that Disney had put out. And we kind of came close to $500 million. They wouldn't. There was quarters involved and lots of beer for them. So I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I think we're looking at
anything legitimate in terms of a source on where that came from. I kind of buy the $200 million price tag, and even if it is the most expensive movie, like there's parts that obviously look like they were picked up, like shots of the leader. I think Red Hulk looked great, but it certainly
460.
it didn't look that 460. And again, if we can throw numbers of I know a guy, I just don't know that guy, so I don't know the
Okay.
source.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because it costs so much. Is that a factor why the CGI looks so shonky? Because they'd run out of money, or
It really looked like 2003 Hulk, not even as good. I thought it was so bad it kept taking me out of the movie.
at the end it was terrible.
Yeah, the CGI is terrible now, because instead of a film where they're doing 200 shots that have CGI in it, now it's 2,000 shots that need CGI in it. They film these movies with no idea exactly where they're going to use CGI. They just say, we'll get it in post. And then these CGI artists now have 10 times as much the workload as they used to have. And they also pay them for crap, right? They do not pay them for the work that they need to do.
And imagine you have to keep reshooting and redoing the visual effects.
Yeah, and so they have to throw away work that they spent months on and do something different. That's why it looks awful.
I laughed. Alex in the chat. Didn't they have that tax return leak? This was during the initial filming, and it was something like 280 million before all the reshoots.
Just coming off the money thing, I'd just like to say I laughed. The only time I laughed is when the Red Hulk turned back into Harrison Ford, and he's old, and they must have just left it on for a second. Yeah, just looks so ridiculous.
Remember
it was so funny. Yeah.
Remember in Dial of Destiny, and there was that press conference, and it was like some lady reporter was talking to Harrison Ford and being like, "Oh, I'm so glad I got to see you with your shirt off. You're so old. How do you keep doing it?" And in this one, it was like, just don't take pictures of the old guy with his shirt off.
He did do his best, though, Harrison Ford.
I'm sure.
Okay.
It's not his fault or Anthony Mackie's fault. I think they're both good actors.
No.
And that's really what the tragedy here is that all they needed to do was make a movie. Instead of that stupid show, they could have made a movie, Falcon and Winter Soldier. What do? Steve Rogers is no longer around, and now there's a crisis. And at the end, if they wanted to, let's say, elevate Falcon, Falcon has to step up as some kind of leader. Now, if he's not going to take the serum and he's just going to be Falcon, he just has to be like a leader, kind of Iron Man was a leader. You know what I mean? You could have a person that's in charge of an operation and working, let's say, with Bucky and putting a good group of people around him and having them do something that's good without all of this. But once they went that whole political route with Falcon and Winter Soldier, insisting also that Falcon is now Falcon America or whatever it is, and then doing this stupid movie, they made all the mistakes themselves, and I'm not forgiving. I'm sorry. Okay. Those scenes with Giancarlo and Esposito are pasted randomly into the movie in places that it doesn't even make sense. And this is something that Professor R2 brought to my attention, and I saw it in the theater and was laughing, but then he mentioned it, and you reminded me of it. There's a part that Giancarlo Esposito sticks like an axe in Captain America,
in his chest.
Captain Falcon's chest. And then the next scene, he just puts like a Band-Aid on it, and then he never talks about that axe injury again.
They do mention it. He does say it's incredible. Like Sidewinder says to Cap, you took an axe into the torso. You must be wearing that carbon fiber weave. So anytime that he was doing something that was sort of super soldiery, they did explain it away with, again, the suit.
But an axe going 5 inches inside your body.
Kevlar. Like if he did have Kevlar armor on, the axe wouldn't have stuck into him. It would have just fallen away.
He wasn't wearing anything at that scene. He wasn't wearing the Falcon suit. He was just wearing like a old Navy shirt. So
it was like a Under Armour.
It was a compressor shirt.
Right.
And the Kevlar weave would have gone.
There's no chance that old Navy T-shirt stopped
talking over each other.
I don't know what they put in ADR or whatever it is. That axe could not have gone through that old Navy shirt, and then he'd be okay. The next scene and put a Band-Aid on it.
Here you go, folks. Z3PO wrench will spot. Except he wasn't. That was a clear stab wound.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they show him pulling it out.
Yeah. You know what they should have done though? They should have had Captain America: Brave New World. It should have been Bucky as Captain America and Anthony Mackie as the Falcon. And basically, that's what it should have been. Adventures of those two. Yes. Instead of being a sequel to the first Incredible Hulk, because this film is the sequel to the Incredible Hulk. It really is.
I'm glad
you did make me smile. Yeah.
It's sort of a sequel to Ant-Man 2, and the Eternals. But I will say this: I know I'm probably older. I'm really tired of going into movies, and I miss just good guys versus bad guys. Of course, I like some nuance and shades of gray, but you know, here, you know, I didn't leave this movie feeling good about being an American, and that's not the case for all the other movies.
Here you go, folks. Ken Rides, new face. Hello, Ken. It was all about exposition. It was. It was.
Oh, yes.
Loads of it.
Do you know what,
Loads of
right?
it.
The reason why we liked Winter Soldier so much is because it had a clear and a defined storyline. We knew what was going on, right across the board. And also the fights were so well done in that film, especially when he meets Bucky and the army attacks. And there's that staircase scene and all that. It's just absolutely terrific, you know. But this, you get the feeling that they had action for action's sake and they just stuck it in here, there, and everywhere so they can cover the film with action, so you don't have to think about the stupidness that's in the story. It's a shame because they had the platform to do something really great because they want Marvel to be back, but they didn't. They put politics in there, they put crappy storylines in there, and they just messed it up. Personally, that's what I think.
Professor R2, did you do your thoughts?
Oh, no, I'll go ahead and give mine real quick. So if I were to sum this up quickly, I would say it was soulless, incoherent, and dull.
Yep.
There were endless exposition scenes, as was just mentioned.
So much.
The fight scenes were some of the most boring and just inconsequential fight scenes I have seen in any Marvel film. There was just non-stop contrivances as to how people end up where they end up and why things happen, which they hand wave away by saying, "Oh, well, the leader knew, so he knew all the percentages, so he knew where people would be," and all this. It's ridiculous. The CGI in this was some of the worst I've seen in any Marvel film. Quantumania has nothing on the CGI in this. Quantumania was a smeary, ugly mess, and this is no different. There's a handful of the CGI scenes that are okay, but most of them are terrible. And I went so far as to say that final fight with Red Hulk is so bad as to be cartoonish.
Yeah, it is.
The characters just it's bad. It's really bad.
Instead of grounding the action to the ground like they did with Winter Soldier, they made it fantastical where he's flying against all these planes and stuff and trying to stop the rockets and all that.
Oh yeah,
they shouldn't have done that. They should have brought it down to a level where he doesn't have any superpowers. So let's see how he deals with it. Do you know what I mean? That kind of thing.
And so I thought that I also thought overall this movie might be the least consequential of any Marvel film since the Eternals. There is literally nothing that happens in this movie other than Ross being in prison at the end of the movie. Everyone else just goes back to square one.
Okay. What are Wolverine's claws made of now?
I was going to say the main plot of the movie is they're trying to secure, is it adamantium from the Celestial?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A question. Adamantium is the toughest substance in the universe, isn't it?
Yes, it's virtually indestructible in the comic books. Yeah.
Oh, how do you forge it?
How do you mine something that's virtually indestructible?
How do you mine it? How do you forge it?
How do you do that for Weapon X in the first place then?
Well, in the
comics,
as you can go as far, but in the comics, it's not
comics,
something you mine.
Yeah, a raw adamantium can be forged or cast or worked with, but once it's refined, it's pretty much indestructible.
Well, it's made into if I remember correctly, the lore is that it's an alloy, right? So there's different things that are mined, and then they make an alloy out of it, which is why it's such a secret and no one knows how to do it, because it's not just being able to melt it down and use it. It's that there's like a mixture of different things that are part of what become adamantium, and so there's only some people that know how to create it and then how to work with it properly. But yes, once it's actually forged into something, it's basically indestructible.
Okay, here you go, folks. Flav wrenched one spot. You can't, according to canon, it has to be kept superheated, and once it sets, it sets. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I just say, like, early on in the comics, and I've been reading Marvel since the 60s, they kind of kept the mutant universe a bit separate. There were some crossover, but basically the mutant universe was separate than the mainline Marvel universe. And adamantium was the mutant version of vibranium in the comics for a long time. Like DC has, I think it's nth metal.
Yes.
So they all have their little magic MacGuffin metal. But if this was just the first time they discovered adamantium, that brings into question, what's Wolverine's skeleton? What are his claws made of? I guess it's vibranium now.
Who knows? Who cares?
He hasn't really. He did show up in Deadpool 3, but that was only because he came from a different reality. So
yeah, he came from a Marvel or early Marvel film reality.
They never mentioned that guy
Fox
was
reality.
the leader, though, did they? They never mentioned he was the leader. They never said it.
No,
once.
they never called him the leader. Nope,
No,
they just Samuel Stearns.
Was Japan supposed to be? Would have been China.
Well, they couldn't do that.
Oh yeah.
Well, that was changed, wasn't it? Obviously.
Yeah, they couldn't do it for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I just want to say this out loud. Harrison Ford kind of sucks now. I made a tweet about it, but you know what? Yeah. He sucks, and he sucked for a while. I think the older he gets, the more his real personality comes out in any of the characters he's playing. And I remember a time when it was just pure joy to see him on screen. He was amazing, one of the greats, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it was very cool when he was younger.
My son didn't even think, because I've shown him Raiders of the Lost Ark, Temple of Doom, Last Crusade, and I said, that's Indiana Jones, and he thought I was messing with him.
Don't blame him.
Listen, he's still a decent actor. I don't think that he doesn't know how to act, and he's professional enough. It's just
his attitude.
What'd you say?
It's his attitude.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, at this point, he's just taking checks and doing crappy movies.
I don't blame him. Yeah,
and crashing planes, yeah.
I don't blame him for that.
I think
so. Price is right. He's
Price is right.
Price is right.
Come on down. Come on down.
No, I think he's right because he's. I think he's a good actor. He did give his best in this. He tried at least because the script
tried.
Let him down. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, but the thing is though, he has every right now because he has entertained us throughout the years. He has every right now to go. Do you know what? I'm just taking the check. That's all I'm doing.
Buying aircraft,
and that's all I'm doing.
Another plane.
Yeah,
Plus,
exactly.
when you're in your 80s, you just want to be working. Somebody's offering him a job, he goes and he does it. People were saying, "Oh, he was kind of grumpy in the Devon set." I mean, dude, the guy's in his 80s. I think any guy that's in his 80s that you tell him now to be on a movie set like this and keep bringing him back for reshoots every 5 minutes,
he's gonna go.
Probably would be grumpy. I mean,
yeah,
I liked him. I thought the only thing that was sort of he was more playing Ross from Incredible Hulk than he was from Civil War, because in Civil War he had toned down a bit, and in this one he had sort of amped it up in the grump. But no, I thought I still like Harrison Ford. I know I'm in the minority. I liked the Dial of Destiny. I enjoyed his appearance.
Oh no, get him off the street!
What?
You like Dial of Destiny?
What?
You are kidding me,
man! If they had gotten,
I've never met
Sam
anybody
Elliott
who liked
back,
Dial of Destiny.
No, I liked it, but that's for another conversation. But yeah, I thought it was good.
Not on this channel.
and when it comes to his performance, I liked him as an antagonist. It's not very often you get to see him as playing sort of a villainous role, even though they do try and dial that back in saying, "Oh, I really had to step aside as president because of the Red Hulk. I've been compromised." And it's like, "Oh, so you're not a bad guy, even though you are a bad guy? All right, fine, I guess."
Yeah. No, I didn't really have a problem with any of the actors per se, and actually doing their jobs. Some of the things that they were cast to do might have been a little ridiculous. We haven't really mentioned or briefly mentioned Sabra, Ruth Butserif, who what?
What did you say?
Yeah, the Ruth Butserif. That's her name. The very very small woman from Israel. Who
Someone get that man a Halls.
who is
Nobody
way too
noticed, don't worry.
small.
Nobody
Who is
noticed.
way too small to be taking on 220-pound special forces soldiers in full armor.
Don't you see they still
unbelievably.
got the agenda in there? That's the
Yeah.
reason why. You know what I mean? So, it's still, the agenda still hasn't gone from Marvel.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if they would have made her a superhero, like somebody with superpowers,
Yes.
she threw them and she
That's
was
different.
Sabra,
Yeah.
then I would say, okay, well, that's a superhero, so she's able to throw them around.
Yeah.
I don't know if they ever intended that and then they changed her into a Russian widow,
Yeah,
because
definitely.
the fact that they made her a widow makes those scenes highly
Stupid.
implausible.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, in the
Scott,
what's the
comics,
height?
she can fly in the comics.
Go on, Scotty.
What's the height difference between Black Widow and what's her name?
Oh, I know that that her height is approximately 5 foot. It's quoted as between 4'9" and 5'1", 5'2" on various sources. But yeah, she's
And
around
Scarlett's
5 feet
5'5"?
tall. No, she's
I don't know.
taller.
I'll check.
Listen,
I'll look. I'm the one who asked. I can look.
Yeah,
Scarlett Johansson is 5'3", so she's on the small side.
Is
But
she?
I'll say
Okay.
I'll say a few things that work for Scarlett Johansson that didn't work here. Scarlett Johansson has a different body type. That's one. Two, I don't know how to say it, but she actually was really in good shape for those Avengers movies. She took it very
She
seriously.
looked hot.
She's also very hot. So the combination, the combination of being extremely hot and going to the gym all the time and having a more bulky body structure, then even if she was short, it somehow worked. And I also think that, if I recall now, I don't think that every second they just had her throwing a guy that's like 500 pounds in the air. I think that the type of choreography that went into Black Widow was more thoughtful over the years. I think over time maybe they gave her some instruments, some different things to work with, some some things that gave her additional power maybe. But generally speaking, you never thought that she was the Hulk or that she had the strength of Captain America. She had other things that she offered, and that's fine. But this girl that they brought into this movie, we don't see her enough to care about her. The actress, I can't even tell if actors here are good or bad. Maybe there's some dramas that she did that people said she was good in. She didn't seem a good fit for this role, and somehow her body structure and the kind of men that she was throwing up in the air, it all just didn't make sense.
Yeah, Black Widow used a style that took advantage of her speed and agility, and
she also had weapons. She was stunning people and zapping people with stuff and shooting, and she was just like had no.
And she never
jumping around punching people.
But also remember,
300-pound dude.
But remember, in Winter Soldier, she was vulnerable. She got shot. She got shot in the shoulder, and she was just about to get eliminated by the Winter Soldier until Captain America saved her. So she wasn't this all-powerful, throwing people twice their size around. This is the difference. And also, Scarlett Johansson can act. This girl can't act. She was awful.
I don't know. We didn't get a lot of her, so I don't know that I got a feeling.
I would just say these newer films, while the older films were obviously superheroes, etc., they were grounded on certain aspects, whereas they've just lost their groundedness. If they get an injury, they just shrug it off.
Well, having someone of 5 foot taking on guys twice the size of him, especially the way she did it, is definitely part of the agenda.
I always thought it seemed like
I'm
she
going to
was
surprise you.
teamed up. I just thought she was teamed up. Like when she shows up in the hallway, it was Joaquin, Sam, and her that were taking out the groups of guys. It wasn't just her alone taking out.
No,
an
you're
entire
wrong.
group.
Watch it again. There's a sequence.
No,
there's a sequence
I'm not
in
watching
it. No,
it yet. It's not that
they step back, don't they? They step back. First, they step back. She runs in. She takes on 4 of them her own, and then they join in. So come on.
Okay,
well, I'm not,
Price.
I'm not married to it. I'm not trying to
I wanted to say that I wanted to be a little bit fair here. I think that somebody like Anthony Mackie, who's a good actor, and same with Harrison Ford.
I went to see this Coss of Anthony Mackie, and obviously YouTube, but Anthony Mackie
Right.
Sorry.
I mean, I think he's a good actor. And what
Great
I'm trying to
actor.
say is that they are the type of actors that even with all the green screen around them and all the nonsense and the Marvel nonsense, I think they can still put in a good performance. Sometimes, and I call this kind of the Hayden Christensen syndrome, sometimes you take an actress like that, one that played the agent. I think the only thing she's done, she was in some kind of drama, a very low level kind of bare bones type of drama that somebody said she was good in. I didn't see the drama, but I'm just saying, like, you suddenly throw her in this room with these like people and these green screens. So I'm not going to be as harsh. I don't think that the lines I saw her read, the few times that she talks in the movie, that it seemed great. But at the same time, I think that some of these other actors that are not as seasoned, they get thrown into this kind of Marvel production, and some of them just get lost in the shuffle. And this one that they kept rewriting her story and refilming it, I mean, I don't even know what what went through her mind. So
Okay.
I have empathy. I'm not hating on her, but yeah, I don't
Okay.
think she was well cast for the role.
Who was the?
Mr. Brown.
Go on.
I wanted to ask if I could say one more thing about this movie. There was they obviously shot this probably before Butler, Pennsylvania. His lead Secret Service agent was this tiny little black woman, but she was also clearly his chief of staff and his secretary of state. And it looked like basically she was running the whole government. And since I know a little bit about how that works, that really bothered me that, and plus she was about 5'2" too, right? And she's trying to cover him up from fire, and she can't. Again, it just reminded me of those little Secret Service agents, during Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Also, the leader reminded me of Thrawn, a guy that's supposedly smart, but just does a bunch of stupid things.
Again, if you think the agenda's gone away from Marvel, all you have to do is watch this film.
The agenda's
right,
strong.
right.
This
Why have you got a 5'0" as a bodyguard? Why have you got a black woman who basically, when you look at the bodyguards in real life, the chances of them being a woman in that position is kind of remote, because men are physically bigger. They can take care of the president. So anyway, whatever.
Are you shooting from the hip again, Ian?
Yeah, well, my hips. I need a new hip, actually.
Okay, so who was the baddie in this movie?
No one.
Samuel Stern.
Marvel.
Under
Samuel
the control of Thaddeus Ross.
Mm-hmm.
I think friendship was the baddie. The friends we made along the way were the true guys.
Yeah.
Where did the Stern bloke come from?
He came from the first movie.
From the first Hulk movie.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've never Eric
Norton one.
Banner
Yeah,
one.
Yep.
Was it the Banner one?
That's
Incredible
another thing that in
I've
this
never
movie,
seen it. I've never seen it.
in this movie, they had Liv Tyler. They're like, oh, we're bringing her back. So the thing is that she was with Edward Norton, who was recast, and she was the daughter of William Hurt, who was also recast. So you have just a bunch of people coming from different places. It's not even like you're thinking, oh, finally there's a reunion here. It's not like this is a movie with Edward Norton, William Hurt, who passed away, and Liv Tyler.
Yes,
So maybe you could say, well, I like that original movie 70 million years ago. I really wish I wanted to see a reunion or whatever it is. This is just like a half-assed reunion. And at the end, I don't know if anybody noticed, she looked like she was AI or CGI Liv Tyler.
It was very weird looking.
Very Botoxy. Very Botoxy.
But Liv Tyler was the worst CGI in the entire film.
I feel like she wasn't even there. I feel like they did like they did an AI of her. If you look at her, the bars cover her face. You can barely see her. They like pasted her in the background.
Yeah.
There's no close up of her. It's like something far that you see, and there's stuff over her face. It's really odd.
I'm quite certain she was shot on a green screen, completely separate from the rest of the film, and simply just inserted into that shot.
I feel like
CGI.
they filmed her in her backyard. They just told her,
listen,
in
Zoom.
They
just
brought
got
like
her
an
on Zoom.
envelope and like a
They were actually filming it as we were watching it.
See, it's so weird because if you look at her on at the premiere of Brave New World, she looks normal. She looks fine. I don't know why. It was just horrible
Yeah.
directorial
Maybe
choices in terms of
maybe it's to do
framing.
with scheduling. Maybe she wasn't
possibly.
available when.
Yeah, that's
Harrison
my
Ford
guess.
was.
Well,
Yeah,
with the
maybe.
rush of the reshoots,
Yeah,
they decided to add her in there and just like trying to squeeze in Giancarlo Esposito, which did not work at all.
Well,
they tried to
speak-
squeeze her in there too.
And
To
we didn't
speak
even
to the
get
to the Giancarlo Esposito, I think that you're right that it was sort of inserted in there, but I think that was more so that they could incorporate the Serpent Society, and they needed a Captain America villain in a Captain America movie because it was
that might
just
be
turning
possible.
into Incredible Hulk 2.
We haven't we hadn't even gotten to how awkward all the ADR was in this movie. There was so much.
ADR, what's that?
The automatic dialogue replacement when
Yeah.
they aren't
Yeah.
showing the mouth of the character and they'll come in and redub a different line.
Oh, okay.
They did that because they changed the whole story.
Yeah.
Totally.
One of the biggest mistakes of this film is that we didn't care about anyone in this at all, and I think that's
Well, I
huge
disagree
mistake.
with you there, Ian.
Mm.
I disagree with you there. I care about the Anthony
Mackie's character. Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Trouble is, he's just the problem is he's had sloppy seconds. And
Seconds when you're at school, you mean?
yeah,
When you
sloppy
wait for
seconds. This is just the fallout from when well, it's just the fallout, isn't it, from Falcon and whatever TV series.
Yeah.
And was it Endgame when he got was it Endgame?
Yes.
I think you cared about Steve Rogers because he was fighting for what's right in Winter Soldier. Everything about him is a hero. Everything that he says is within the truth when you watch that film. With Anthony Mackie, I don't know. I didn't feel anything for him. I didn't feel anything for his blackness because that's what they were driving all the way through this film.
Well, that's the problem. We didn't have any of this until they made him Captain America. They shouldn't have done.
Exactly.
And that lies the problem with all this.
Yeah. And I will say there was one time I audibly laughed during the film.
What, when it said the end?
This would be when they when
Captain
they bring
America
back
will return. Is that
no. When they bring in Bucky in clearly a scene that was shot after the fact, and they introduce him as a super. This is a super soldier.
Yeah.
And instead of being out there fighting the good fight, instead of him being Captain America, he's going to a campaign fundraiser because he's running for Senate.
It's stupid.
It's just so massively dumb.
He would have stayed
laughed
as well
in the theater.
He would have stayed as well to help his friend. None of that made any sense at all. That's what I reckon. There's no way he would have abandoned without helping. I'm going to go to a fundraiser. It's like, no, of course you won't. You'd stay and help, won't you? So there you go.
But that's been a Marvel complaint since forever. It's like, why don't we have these other people? It is kind of stupid that he shows up and then leaves again. But everyone says, oh, why don't you call Thor? Why don't we get Doctor Strange to teleport us across the world? It's like there's always the question as to where is everyone else during the Captain America or whatever insert hero movie.
Well, that's the way the comics were, wasn't it? So.
Well, yeah, you get individual issues, and then you get the team ups and the Avengers, and
But the problem is
what this is. But and just to sort of address what's going on in terms of comparing this to Winter Soldier, I agree that this is like the reverse Winter Soldier, but instead of Cap pursuing Bucky, we already have the Isaiah imprisoned, and now we're running around to clear his name, and that's when things. I think that with the reshoots and trying to be clever and political thriller. They just weren't quite up to the task. It's like in She-Hulk. It's like we're doing a legal comedy, but we don't know how to write courtroom things. It's like, well, you really should. You really should.
That's why the whole story shouldn't have been about this country pit, never get country, and if it's going to be another world war, blah blah blah. It should have been grounded. It should have been a street level adventure. Well, that's what it should have been.
It is again another story about Sam not feeling up to the mantle that Steve left behind. And when you say insecure, I feel like this is a Captain America movie that feels unworthy because it's always saying you're not Steve Rogers, you're not Steve Rogers, and he accepts it. He's just like, you're right. I'm not. I can't. I should have.
Paul
I
is a
should have taken
Latino.
this.
Hey, Paulie.
Hello, Paulie. This movie sucked. Next.
I disagree. I don't think it's as bad as you guys are saying, but I don't think
Well,
it's good as
You
anybody
did like the
would
last Indiana Jones
It
film.
was
so,
very,
This
very
is true.
dull.
This is
Do
true.
you know, I honestly, folks, I wasn't bored. I was entertained. It's not great, but I certainly wasn't bored.
Yeah, didn't make me angry.
Oh, I
It
was
was
pretty
messy.
bored.
It was messy.
Yeah, it was all over the place, and there was
Yeah,
stuff.
but that's not a very good review, is it?
full of
Ian?
agenda.
I
It was
wasn't
just-
bored. Right, 5 stars. I wasn't bored. Do you know what I mean? That's bollocks. It
Yeah,
was
but 5 out of
rubbish.
10.
Come
That's
on, it
5
was
out of 10.
rubbish.
Yeah.
You can't say
Okay.
if you can't say a film was good, right? Then it isn't. Do you know
Well,
what I
it's
mean?
not
You
a
can't just sit
binary
there and say I
question.
wasn't bored. I wasn't bored. That's a terrible. review.
Okay. Okay. So the final end credit scene was
Boring.
Just a complete waste of time. Yes.
That's
they
what it
are. It
was.
just said they are coming.
The others.
They are
coming. The others
So
are coming.
hinting
So
at
what
a
does that mean? What does
multiverse
that
that
mean?
we've already known about for a decade.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a waste of time.
The reason why they put that in there is because of the Doctor Doom film
Oh,
coming
yeah.
up. You know,
Dr. Watt.
Was there a second after credit scene?
No, just
no.
one. Just one.
Just the
okay,
one.
Yeah, the kids were not willing to wait for the.
Okay.
I had to
Okay.
go for a
So
piss.
okay. So Prof, a paragraph and marks out of 10.
Yeah, like I said, incoherent, boring. I was not particularly entertained, and like I said, the final fight I thought was one of the ugliest messes of a scene that's ever been in Marvel. Is it the worst thing that Marvel's ever made? No. It is not. I would give that to either the Marvels or the Eternals. But no, it's not a good film, and it's kind of. I'll be honest. I feel bad for Anthony Mackie.
Should have been a good film.
This was his first real turn as Captain America, and this film is so bad. But marks out of 10, 3.5.
Damn. Price, you there, mate?
Yeah, he said he'll be
Oh,
back.
sorry. Yeah, I'm here.
I was back.
I didn't
So-
realize I was on mute.
Okay. So
I wonder how long
paragraph-
that's been going on.
Paragraph. Closing
Paragraph.
thoughts
I
and a
would
mark
give this
out of 10.
movie a 30 out of 100, or if you want to say a 3 out of 10. I think that maybe it goes toe to toe with the Marvels, but for me, this is more annoying than the Marvels because they spent even more money on it, from what I understand. And there was an opportunity to really make a very good movie here, and they just messed it up. And I'm tired of saying, well, it's not as bad as the Eternals. You know what? Fuck that. The Eternals is like a 1 out of 10. So yeah, it's not as bad as that. This one is a 3 out of 10. They need to take their $500 million and make movies that are not shit.
Are you question? Are you annoyed?
I am rather annoyed. Yes,
You
I think
are
the movie
really.
annoyed me.
Yeah, you really are animated this evening.
I don't know, because you know what? I studied film, and I'm not saying I'm a filmmaker, but you know what? Every person that ever studied film would dream of having $500 million to make. Forget about one movie with $500 million. I mean, I could get together with Mega Geek here with Ian and make. We could launch a whole company with
Exactly.
movies for a
You,
lifetime.
you could
You
do
know what I mean?
seven. You could do 7 series of Rebecca Platinum, 26
Don't do
episodes as well. See what I did
We
there?
can do like the greatest like movie series in the world with
Absolutely.
Rebecca Gold with that kind of thing, and not even one. We could do like I would say a trilogy, but not even.
I've got it.
10
I've got
movies.
it. I've got it.
Yeah.
I've got it. Rebecca Adamantium.
You know what? I think I'll make a film. It's called The Brown Alliance. It's the season 1. That'd be quite
I
funny.
thought it was a good joke. That Rebecca Adamantium.
Yeah.
Rebecca
Rebecca-
Gold. Did I say Rebecca Black? Everybody's saying I said Rebecca Black. I'm sorry.
Rebecca Adamant.
This film sucked, man.
Okay. It's the paragraph marks out of 10, mate.
I'm gonna say, if you consider, you always have to take into account the money. It's a value proposition. So, and the fact that I was on some painkillers when I saw it, I'm gonna
Nice.
go 4 out of 10, even though I was calling it 5 out of 10 before. I think that was the oxy.
Ian?
It was shit. 0 out of 10. That's it.
Well, I said a paragraph. That was more of a just kind of a collection.
Doesn't
of
deserve a
two
paragraph.
words.
Doesn't
3
deserve
words.
a paragraph.
Damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
rubbish.
Scotty?
5.5 out of 10 if I can do halves. And I would say as a Marvel movie, I enjoyed it. It was interconnected to the rest of the larger Marvel Cinematic Universe. I enjoyed Harrison Ford playing Thaddeus Ross. I did miss that hurt fella. I liked the
Rest in
scene
peace.
for Hulk, and it was great to see Tim Blake Nelson as the leader. I've been wondering what they were going to do with the leader ever since The Incredible Hulk. And so, all in all, I think it fits in with the overarching MCU. And it's not that bad. And I don't care how much money it made. It doesn't change the price of my ticket or how much it cost, because it doesn't matter. I wasn't going to see any of it. So
you were
it doesn't
entertained.
care. There's people still like Waterworld. I don't care how much it cost, as long as it was 2 hours that I enjoyed.
Okay. Obviously, everybody here has been, is it red pilled with everything that's going on? My cinema closed down, so I had to go to a different cinema, and it was a pain in the ass to get to it. I did manage to get a £3 ticket. I still was going to enjoy it no matter what. I like Anthony Mackie. It is a missed opportunity. You could just tell it was all over the place. As I said, I wasn't bored. I was determined not to be bored. It's not the worst Marvel movie I've watched. The Eternals was the worst movie in the franchise. I've never seen it, but I know it's the worst movie. It was better than that one.
You've never seen it. How could you say that?
I just know it's a gut feeling.
Oh, you just know.
Yeah, it's a gut feeling. It's a gut feeling. Don't worry.
I mean, I would get upset at you, Brown, but since I saw it and it really was terrible,
it's a gut feeling. Trust me, folks.
No, I mean, generally, it's not good to have a gut feeling, but in this specific case, I can't really argue. I can't argue in this case. Okay. It really is awful.
I would have loved this movie to have been better.
You got
to do better, Disney. Disney. There was a theatre full of kids wanting this to be good. You let them down. You've got fans for life. You're letting them down, Disney, with all this shit. People do not want to be lectured. Kids, teenagers want to be entertained. You got to do better, Disney. 5 out of 5. 5.5 out of 5 out of 10.
Very generous.
5.5 out of 10, folks. Disney, you got to do better. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shall we?
Next?
Well, Ironheart's going to be.
Ooh, yes.
That'll be great, right?
Waiting for that one.
That may taste like pumpkin pie, but I'll never know because I won't eat the filthy motherfucker.
I'm just going to say we've got 132 people watching this evening, everybody.
Hooray. Hi, everybody.
They want this to be good. They want this to be good.
It's not, it's shit.
They want it to be Disney. They want it to be good. Cut the shit. We don't want it. People are very forgiving.
Boils down to the agenda. It's full of it. That's why it's bad. That's why it's bad. So there you go.
Well, and apparently they toned down the agenda, Ian. Apparently it was way worse than the earlier cuts.
Yeah,
and it's
not
still,
enough. Not enough.
Still, yeah. Oh, you can still tell they intended Ross to be Orange Man. You can still tell.
Yeah, it's just obvious.
I would love to see the original cut of this movie, the one before all the reshoots. I want to see that.
7-hour cut.
I don't think it's
just
7
the
hours.
original version before they did all the reshoots.
I bet it'd be better. Yeah,
there was one version that they thought that would be their movie before they refilmed it a few times. I'm wondering what that first one looked like.
Okay,
I
Ian,
have.
Say it again for Vex.
Just for Vex.
It was shit.
Okay, let's do some soups. Should we do some soups? They've been patiently waiting.
We got bread.
Okay, Prof, you available, mate?
I am. RRT and Z wrenched World of Sport. Yes.
Yeah.
For a New Zealand $5. When Captain Falcon yelled, "For Frodo!" as he flew his X-Wing into the Borg cube and blasted Megatron to save Harry Potter from the Daleks.
That was
smiled.
That was a highlight of the movie, though. We forgot to mention that. Okay.
Yeah.
Istophobus, you available, mate?
Yeah, I don't know if they have Just for Men in the UK, but
We do, yes.
Just for Hulks.
Hulks.
Found in your local hair care aisle.
Yeah, you can take care of those, those gray spots on the side of your head real quick.
Esther, are you available, please?
Oh,
For another one.
again, okay. Sure, I was going to say that's why they call him Giancarlo Exposition, because that's pretty much his job.
It was.
Price, you available, mate? Please.
Yeah, sure. So
Sure.
Peter Pidrock for $9.99. Movie was mid. I am trying to decide if I am giving it more grace because what we have got lately is shit, or if I'm judging it too harshly because I expected shit. Even my wife said the CGI was bad.
No, I think
It
that
was
he's hit
horrendous.
the nail on the head, doesn't he? Basically, because we're so desperate for a good Marvel film, we're being lenient on this. But I will never ever give a crap movie a pass. This film was shit, and it doesn't deserve to be on the cinema screen at all.
I agree.
Okay, Ian, on a scale of 1 to 10 shits,
Mm.
how many shits out of 10? This is a new scale for Ian.
How much
everybody.
how much this film cost? Price?
We don't
Half
know.
dollars.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
The budget was listed as 180. We
Yeah.
know there were multiple reshoots, and
Yeah.
we know that
A
their
guess.
marketing push has been enormous.
Give me
so
a
I would
guess.
say at most likely all of the reshoots is probably adding another nearly 100 to 150 to that budget.
Jeez.
If you add in the marketing, which I'm guaranteeing you was at least a $200 million push,
Right.
this is over a $500,000 or
Right, so
$500 million.
500 million, do you reckon? That's how
Absolutely.
much it costs.
After marketing, no question.
That's how much shits I'd give it.
Oh, there's a
So there you
question.
go.
There's still a question.
No,
500
marketing
Oh.
is wildly expensive. They had to have spent at least 200.
500
Oh, yeah.
million shits
Super
out
Bowl.
of 10.
Yeah, that's what I'd give it.
Okay. Cheers, Peter. We got another one from Peter. I'll do this one. Peter Pidrak, $2. Liv Tyler still won. Even my wife said, still hot.
She's very cute as well, isn't she? She has that cute face going for her. She's lovely.
Here you go, folks. Similex. Smilex refused to go on a date with me, a Valentine's Day date. Can you believe it? I said, Simlex, Valentine's Day date, my treat, let's go to the cinema. Refused? Can you believe it?
I don't blame him.
Smilex wrenched £5, real money at the moment, for price. This reminds me of a time I shared a hot tub with Florence Pugh and Harrison Ford.
Oh, God, that must have been
Okay.
awful. Florence
Okay.
Pugh and Harrison Board. Yeah.
That's a weird combo, yes.
Mm.
Thank you, Smilex. I'll never forgive you for turning me down on that date, but anyway, thank you, my friend.
He's broken-hearted.
Here you go. Internet Updesk wrenched Woolspot member for 5 months. Wow. Thank you, my friend. Out of 10 shits, I really don't give a shit. My field of shits is barren. Thank you, my friend. Oosh Bala. Hello, my friend. Long time no see. Member wrenched Water Sports. Oosh Bala became a YouTube member. Thank you, my friend. Good to see you again. And here we go. Mega Spider-Man wrenched €5. Sorry if it's already been asked and answered to all. Fave Harrison Ford film and why that?
It's got to be.
Blade Runner.
But for me, it's Raiders.
Yeah.
For me, it's Raiders.
Yeah, Raiders, I agree.
I go to Blade Runner for the rest of the whole thing, but for Harrison Ford, Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Blade Runner because that's one of my favorite movies. But he was, I mean, it's a really tough choice of his early stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raiders is a magnificent film. There's no question.
It's almost perfect.
Okay. Guns of Navarone.
Oh, nice.
It's good.
He was hardly in there, wasn't he? Well, wait,
That's why I enjoyed it.
No, it's Force 10. It's Force
Oh,
10.
Force 10 from
Force 10 from
Navarone.
Navarone.
Full step.
Yeah.
What about
One for the purists.
regarding Henry? What about that one?
Oh, everyone's favorite J.J. Abrams movie.
Exactly.
And on that bombshell. Okay. Thank you, Mega Spider-Man. Thank you, my friend.
I'll
Okay.
say the last movie I liked him in was a little rom-com called 6 Days and 7 Nights. It's not really my thing, but it was funny. It was charming. I liked it.
Ivan Reitman.
Okay. Temple of Doom, Star Wars. Last, yeah.
Captain America.
Yeah. Okay. Shall we we got some slides. I think we're going to be overrunning tonight, folks. Okay. So we've done the kind of review thing. Captain America Brave New World has received B- cinema score, lowest score ever for an MC. Lowest score? What?
Yes, that is the lowest
What?
score for an MCU film
Hey?
ever.
What about internals?
Let's see, the Eternals.
That probably got A.
Eternals 2009, it got a B.
I don't trust any of these scores. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, but cinema score, if it's not an A, you pretty much blew it.
Yeah, Marvel's got a B. Yeah. So
Don't
yeah,
trust
this is bad. B- is
Well,
bad.
Yeah, but I don't believe them anymore based on the
Nor do
one
I.
score that I've seen. If they're going to say that the Marvels was better than this, and
Well,
I didn't think
it's
Marvels
all-
was that bad. It was like
So-
a 4, but it was a C+.
Marvel, the way they do the cinema scores, it's basically it's one of the earliest showings that they can find. So these people that are showing up to see this are showing up to see it, at a prime time on the first showing, and they're giving out these little cards that they have to fill out. So the people who are going to see this are people who are excited about seeing this movie. So what you're really gauging with cinema score is how did the people who are really excited about seeing it think about the movie. And this means that the people who really wanted to see Brave New World were not happy with what they saw. That's what it means.
Okay, that's sad then, isn't it? Okay, let's sidestep.
See, this one was funny to me because a lot of the time when it gets to film criticism and YouTube film punditry, a lot of the time it's like you can never trust the critics, and it's 48% is the critic score, but it's like 79% on the audience score. And so for some reason, people are choosing to go with the lower score because it suits their distaste.
No, the audience score is not worth this.
It's
whole
all
Rotten
screwed up
Tomatoes,
now.
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes isn't worth anything anymore. They sell tickets to movies, and as people that sell tickets, they want you to buy the tickets to the movie they want. So if the critics don't give it a good score, they'll say that the audience score is good because they want you to pay money so they can get a commission. There's too much corruption going on at Rotten Tomatoes today to take really anything seriously.
Is it rotten?
Yeah, and they buy and sell reviews. I'm surprised anybody really takes them seriously, but the movie studios still do, even though they buy their own good reviews. They
There's
know
enough normies around that'll just click on it and be like, "Oh, this means something." But
If
I
you
think
go
most
over-
people that are not normies know today that it's like huge grain of salt, Rotten Tomatoes.
If instead you jump over to something like Metacritic, where you've got both, you basically, tons of critics and tons of users putting up stuff, then they don't block off people who didn't buy a ticket from them and for reviewing it and so on. The reviews are pretty close. You've got a 42 out of 100 for the critics and a 4.5 for users.
Okay.
So
Here you go. Johnny Lawrence's mom ranched. Oh, Babs. Rotten Tomatoes doesn't mean anything either. Just it used to.
Yeah,
I
but
think
When
It all
Harry,
comes
what's
down
his
to-
face?
sorry.
I think when people review films, right, especially if normies review films, they can't see that it's a bad film. If it has just enough action in it and just enough things in there that's kind of nice, they will say it's good. But people that know film, when they see a bad film, they can tell you how bad it is. And those are the
Okay.
people that everyone should be listening to, in my opinion.
I tried to view it on Normie's eyes. Scotty, final thought on this?
Again, critics, I agree with the chat. Critics don't really mean much of anything. And when it comes to qualifying an audience as being either an expert or a normie, I think is sort of derivative or derisive of the audience. Like if you like something, I like Friday by Rebecca Black. Does that mean that I just have no no seat at the table when it comes to discussing music? I don't think so.
Get
No,
this crazy man off the
It
stream.
basically means that you don't know what a good film is. That's what it
No,
means.
but I disagree.
I mean,
And again, I
if
don't
you
know.
like Friday by
Easy,
Rebecca
children.
Black, then I may not engage in like a real music conversation with you.
But exactly. But the thing is that it like I don't think that if you do happen to like a movie that is disregarded by critics, then I don't think that means that you have no voice in critical discussion.
Amelia says you can enjoy a shit movie, and you can.
Yeah,
Yeah, we all have our
Wire.
guilty pleasures.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on then.
And this is also a Marvel movie, so we're not talking about anything that is upper echelon artistic effort.
Scotty and I enjoyed She-Hulk.
It's true.
Didn't we?
It's true.
Okay, Captain America: Brave New World earns 40 mil in the film's domestic opening day, second highest for a Captain America.
For a Captain America movie, which we haven't had any for quite some time, and there's been significant inflation since then. So
Yeah, unadjusted.
Yeah,
that's not really something to be happy about.
Side effects, legend wrenched. Opinions like arseholes. They are, mate. Everybody's got one.
Mm-hmm.
So
The website Critic List, which I've really come to enjoy, it has it at 34%.
Yeah.
Not critic list.
Critic less, as in no critics.
Yeah, it's just people. But yeah, so the highest grossing not opening day, I know the highest grossing opening weekend for a Captain America film was I believe which one was I think it was the first Captain America. No. It was Winter Soldier.
Oh, such a good movie.
So and yeah, that was 2014. That was a decade ago.
Okay, do I need to use this as an alternative to Rotten Tomatoes then?
Criticless or Metacritic, either one is a pretty good choice.
Okay.
What was that?
Metacritic's nice because it includes both critics and people.
Oh,
What was that one where he took on Iron Man? That was a Captain America film as well, wasn't it?
Civil War.
Civil War.
Oh, Civil War.
Yeah, it was Iron Man as a Captain
It
America.
was okay.
Yeah.
Ish. I quite like the first one, to be fair.
Me too.
Yeah, I like the first one as
Yeah,
well.
got soft spot for that.
Yeah,
I think it's well underrated. I've watched it over and over
It's a good
again.
movie. Yeah.
Again, a movie that's fun, that makes me smile and makes me happy.
Obviously, the kind of show pleaser movie is Winter Soldier, but First Avenger, I've got a soft spot for that one.
It's a good movie.
Your soft
It's
spot
adorable.
wouldn't happen to be named Haley Atwell, would it?
Oh, yes, the same as what Melvin's got. Yes. Okay. Shall we sidestep?
She's got two soft spots actually. Haley.
Okay. I think the prediction we said on Wednesday, they were predicting 200 mil, weren't they, for the opening?
For worldwide.
Here we go. So Captain America Brave New World opens with 192.4 worldwide. It is the third highest opening for a Captain America movie.
Nice.
That worldwide is surprising. The domestic is falling on the low end right now of what had been predicted for the opening weekend.
And they had to readjust that prediction, right?
So some of the early domestic predictions were 90 to 105, and then they pulled that down to I think 85 to 95. Right now, domestic opening has been around 88. So it's doing kind of what they thought, but again, is it third highest for a Captain America movie? That's not great considering that all the other ones came around before we had significant inflation.
Okay,
So.
here you go, folks. I'll start again. Black cat blending, nice pussy. Money laundering, audit the ticket sales. Was it also a Disney Plus purchase? Possibly. Atom Gray wrenched $400 tops.
Yeah, I'm still saying this worldwide will land around 450.
Is it
That's
going to
my
have
guess.
good word of mouth? This
No.
movie?
I talked to an accountant that works for Disney. There is a code on any tickets that Disney themselves buy. There's going to be a little code on the bottom of the ticket. So you can ask anyone that works in a movie theater if they've seen a lot of tickets purchased with that code.
Okay. So it's all down to next week then, next weekend, yes?
Yeah, it'll be the second weekend is going to be what's going to show the trajectory for this and what kind of legs it's got. So we'll just have to wait and see what that is, but I don't expect it to be very good.
Really
Anything
need to
big
get
coming
rid
out
of
next
the
week?
agenda.
They do need to get rid of
Anything else coming out next week?
get rid of
Yeah,
the
anything big coming
agenda.
out.
That's what they need to do. Marvel is going to suffer if they keep putting this crap in there. The agenda is going to ruin their brand. They need to get rid of it.
It already kind of
totally-
ruined their brand if you think about it.
It's on life support at the moment. This is really...
But this was their chance, wasn't it?
This is
their
it.
chance.
Yeah.
And it looks like Fantastic Four still has the agenda in there as well, you know, when you look at the trailer.
Yeah.
And Pedro Pascal.
Really? You see the agenda in that?
Oh my
Covers
God,
their bed?
Scotty. Go back to school, pal. That's what I can say.
This is. I'm just shocked. I'm shocked. It's something where I don't know if it's actually there or if you're looking for it.
No.
Well, look,
Oh,
No,
for God's
no.
sakes. No.
Well, what is
Okay.
it? What is it about Fantastic Four that tickles your spidey sense?
I'm not going to tell you because you need to learn this yourself because you never take it
Well,
from
I
me.
appreciate the cooperation, sir.
No, but you'll never.
No,
take
you
it
know
from
what?
me.
I have
From
friends
Canada,
like,
though. They're well up
Oh,
on it.
you from
I
Canada?
have friends like Scotty that like they're kind of they have this kind of bug that they don't want to see the truth. They like want to dance around it all the time. I have a few friends like that. They're like, no, but a lot of times it's like this. No, it's not really a girl boss. No, a lot of times, didn't you see that this happened in that movie? Wasn't it like that in Winter Soldier? You know, I have people that are friends that act that way. And it's usually just people that don't want to see the truth that's right in front of them. And that's fine too. Sometimes
fair play,
ignorance is bliss.
It's not
So
his
it's
time.
cool if you don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Scotty, if you're watching Fantastic Four and Johnny Storm goes, "Ooh, flame on," will the penny drop?
Sorry.
Yeah. That's a fresh joke. That's good.
Okay, let's flame on. Let's.
Oh.
Yes.
Go ahead. Moving on.
That was a good one, Mr.
Move it up.
Oh, more Captain America.
Captain, well, yeah, it is. Yeah. Captain African American, Brave New World. This is it. This is the damage limitation stuff coming through now, folks.
This is bullshit.
Needs to make 425 mil at the worldwide box office to break even.
Wow.
The film has a budget of 180 bullshit million.
Bullshit.
Yeah, well,
This is complete bullshit.
Captain
It's-
Cope.
It's completely correct if the movie cost only $180 million and they did
Cheers,
not
Ed.
do any marketing. That is exactly the amount you would need. But we know that there's no way it only cost the original 180, and there's no way they didn't pay for an enormous amount of marketing. So no, that number can't be right. That's
gonna
what
call-
they'll need to make back the original budget.
I'm going to call it Coped in America.
This is the same game plan they used with Rise of Skywalker. Trust me, and it took years for them to admit that it cost 400 and something. They let
Yeah.
all those trades talk about their profits and all this other crap, and at the end it was all a lie, and they admitted it years later.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Disney's never honest
There you
about
go.
their budgets. Never.
No, it's called Hollywood accounting for a reason.
Indeed.
We have a super chat after prices might drop. M Duke 84 wrenched 2 Canadian woke dollars. Oh, that's your neck of the woods, Scotty. An hour in, do you have any other topics? Yeah.
Too many.
Possibly. But this is a big week, isn't it, for Marvel? YouTube as well? Or is it just me? We've been looking forward to this for a long time, haven't we? Am I killing the stream?
No.
No.
I'm killing the
Looking
stream,
forward.
everybody.
Looking forward to it.
shit.
Well, maybe.
No, Mr. Brown, there's another thing that nobody mentions, that when a movie is delayed for a year, that's a year that money can't be invested and is actually making money. So with every year you delay a movie, it has a significant impact on the returns.
Okay. Not everybody's been looking forward to it. Cheers, Flav. Okay, let's this is a sidestep, more damage limitation coming in. Captain African American, Brave New Something, director Julius Onar says the film did not go through multiple reshoots. We only did one period of additional photography, which is the same on all these movies.
Isn't that what James Mangold said about Indiana Jones?
Well, he can say that, but we already have plenty of evidence that that's not the case, because numerous people who were on the shoot for this film talked about going back to reshoots, and they were all at different times. So maybe there was only one large round of reshoots, but there were clearly other ones that were done and pickups that were done as well.
This is complete crap. I don't believe a word that he has to say. I saw the movie and I saw how disjointed and how messy it was. It's clear that this thing, you know when a movie has been reshot multiple times, the CGI looking bad is also part of it, and the fact that some of the editing here was like incoherent and scenes didn't connect with each other. If this is true, then this is the worst director ever in the history of directors, and he should never work again ever at anything, or it's what we said.
Perhaps it took him 4 years to direct it, to film it.
What?
Yeah, one period of reshoots, 2022 through 2024.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2024.
Yeah. 2 years of one reshoot. Go on, Ian. What do you
No,
think?
sorry. I'm just reading this right now. What's the thing? What's the thing about this? He's saying that he didn't.
Director's saying they only had one reshoot, one set of reshoots.
The thing is, though, what's interesting about the Hollywood system is that when you get to direct something like this, or when you get to be part of this, you have to sign that stupid contract that forbids you for telling the truth about the production.
True.
And so he's just obviously saying this so that he doesn't get sued. Basically, that's what he's doing.
Okay, let's move on. I can't remember if it's a sidestep or not. We'll try and speed up.
Shame. I do like Anthony Mackie, though. Such a shame.
Same here. Okay. The Critical Drinker. At one point in Captain America 4, Sam Wilson uses Ant-Man's helmet, Steve Rogers' shield, and Falcon's wings coated with Black Panther's vibranium to fight Hulk. And I think that's a perfect metaphor for how laughably cobbled together this film is. Anything to add, anybody? Correct, yes?
Well,
No.
Good observation from Drinker.
Not at all. Like, it's weird that there would be references to other Marvel superheroes in an MCU movie, don't you think?
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying basically that he's just comparing it to the cobbled together film. He's making a joke out of it, isn't he?
No, I understand, but I don't think it was that cobbled together. And
possibly.
having a bunch of overarching MCU references is probably something that most Marvel movies do. Like, look at Deadpool 3. Is there any reason that Blade should be in there? No, except for here you go.
That's not the same thing, though. This was a comment about how Falcon doesn't, instead of embracing the identity that Falcon has as Falcon, they tried to give him Black Panther powers, Ant-Man mask, and Captain America shield, kind of like a hand-me-down from all different directions.
Sloppy seconds.
Yeah, sloppy seconds hand-me-down, trying to prop him up. And the way they were just pasting all this stuff on him randomly, that's what Drinker was saying he felt like when he watched this movie, which was also cobbled together. It was actually a pretty decent comment. I agree with what he wrote.
We got a super chat, folks. MJuke84 wrenched $2 Canadian woke dollars. Go to IMDb and see what Julius on our first film was.
What? Oh, the guy that played the Super Soldier.
No, the director. He's the director.
I don't know.
Oh boy, yes, yeah. No, we're not going to talk about that. No, we're not. No, we're not.
Okay. I don't even know what it was.
If Ian wants to say that word on the air, he can go right ahead. But I'm not going to.
Okay. I know the one you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a hard R too.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
See, this is what I mean. You know, the agenda's still playing in it. You know,
the agenda's strong
in
this one.
You know, it still is.
Master Nia, Film Comics Explained, suffering from poorly written script, a lack of direction, underwhelming fight choreography, and some shoddy CGI work. Captain African American is the most expensive, mediocre movie you will ever see.
Yep.
Agreed, yeah?
Agreed.
Yeah, you can't disagree with that. Perfectly stated.
Okay. Disappointing, folks.
It is indeed.
Very, very disappointing. Shall we move on?
Drunk. Yes.
Next.
What's this?
Wait, something different, everybody.
Thank God.
7 years ago, Black Panther released in theaters. The film grossed over 1.3 bill worldwide.
I've got to admit, I didn't think much of this film.
No.
I thought it was okay, but I didn't think much of it, to tell you the truth.
It was extremely overrated.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was just average at best.
Mm-hmm.
And that CGI at the ending when he's fighting with him on the train lines, that's
was
awful.
pretty bad.
Really
Yeah.
awful, yeah.
But this was a moment, wasn't it, in cinema history, apparently?
So they say.
Yeah, whether it should have been is another question.
Yeah.
Good marketing, wasn't it? From the
So this is the thing, right? There were loads of especially around my area, black kids going.
Did it save lives? It did, didn't it?
Wakanda sign. They were doing the Wakanda sign. Little kids were doing it everywhere, right? And it was a great movie showcasing a black hero, and it was great. And what did they do? They literally the second one. They literally destroyed that the whole thing that it built and put a woman in that costume.
You go, side of feet, legend wrenched. Chadwick, rest in peace, did his best with a bland film. Yeah.
He's by far the biggest highlight of that movie. He does a great job in that role, as well as Sterling. No, it wasn't Sterling. It's
the guy that was in the Rocky films.
Yeah. There's a few great performances in that, but it's overall the story is pretty weak. But it was an enjoyable movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't the amazing film that a lot of people have tried to make.
It was average. I was entertained. It was just average at best.
Yeah.
But you know what, right? Compare that to Coming to America, like years before this film, when that was a true black movie. When white people, Asian people, black people, they all loved that film. There was no agenda set on that. It was just, we accepted it for what it is. And now you can't even have a film now without this stupid thing that runs through every Hollywood movie. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
Side of feet, legend wrench. Take it to Africa, put a chick in it, and make.
Don't say it yet.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on then. Let's move on.
Yeah, it was Winston Duke is who I was trying to think of. He was a real highlight for that film.
Yeah. New posters for Daredevil Born Again have been spotted in New York.
Oh, they messed it up. Did somebody
been vandalized?
Graffiti? Yeah, have they been vandalized? What's going on there?
I think that's just the style.
Oh, was it? Oh.
Cautiously optimistic.
I hope it's good. I really do.
Well, if Melvin sells the 7 Seas for me, I'll watch it. But I haven't got Disney.
Is it in about 2-3 weeks? It's out.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Yeah, we'll see.
Scotty, you're going to be watching this. Obviously connected to She-Hulk.
Yeah, but I don't think I'm not a Disney Plus subscriber myself, and I probably won't invest the time. I don't really care about Daredevil. I watched the first season on Netflix, but it didn't grab me. And this isn't my cup of tea.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Little mini sidestep, everybody.
Daredevil.
I can never say Vincent
D'Onofrio.
posing in front of the new posters for Daredevil Born Again in newly shared photo. Can you see it?
Has he got hair there?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Can you see it?
Can I see the posters, you mean?
The rainbow?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Does that make him the pot of gold?
Don't know. Might make him gay. I don't know.
No. I do like Vincent D'Onofrio.
I do. He's a great actor.
He's a very enjoyable.
Full Metal Jacket.
Yeah.
Vincent
Ozempic.
He also played Thor in Adventures in Babysitting, and he really pulled that
He
off.
did, yeah, he did. Yeah, that was a long time ago. And also he was the villain in Men in Black, wasn't he? He was the alien in Men in Black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most of my life has been a long time ago.
Okay, I'm hoping the rainbow effect is a lens flare.
Yeah, I think
effect.
that's all it is.
It's hoping.
It's prismatic effect from the lens.
I hope it's not a Freudian photograph then. If such a thing.
They could take it out if they wanted to. I don't think it's just anything.
It's agreeable to see you again.
We will find out in a few weeks, folks. Okay. Shall we?
Yes, please.
Okay. Andy Serkis says Matt Reeves has now told him the story of the Batman 2. I am as hungry for it as you all are. He told me the story of the Batman 2, and I'm excited for it.
Well, money, isn't it, for you, mate? That's why you're excited.
Well, what's he gonna say? He told me the story, and it really sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe they're going to make this movie, but I'll still take the paycheck.
It's going to be puzzling, isn't it? Because I think Gunn wants to make his own version of Batman, and then we got this Batman, and so we'll have two Batmans, wouldn't we?
Oh,
It's a bit weird. Yeah. Bit weird.
I'm not even sure I want to see Gunn's version of Batman. I certainly didn't want this version of Batman.
Yeah. Well, they haven't really made a good Batman film as far as I'm concerned. I mean, the Nolan ones were okay. The Tim Burton one was the best in my opinion, but they haven't really made a good one. Anyway,
Scotty,
I do like Andy Serkis though.
Yeah, Scotty, any thoughts on Batman 2?
Well, I haven't seen The Penguin. I've heard nothing but good things from the people who have seen it. I didn't mind this. I thought it was a little overlong and a little too dour for my tastes in Batman. But we'll see what happens with the sequel. And apparently we're getting a fresh villain, one that hasn't really been portrayed on screen before, at least not in cinemas. So I'm as interested as I was the last time. And hopefully this too will be better than Joker Fade Adieu.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
That's a high bar.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, let's keep the expectations low.
Okay, I think it's kind of a sidestep type thing.
Is it going to be him then as the villain?
New details on Clayface, rumored to be a horror thriller tragedy. Character is not expected to be portrayed as the notorious villain he is known for in Batman canon. DC is meeting with directors next week. Casting process reportedly begins.
Yeah.
So it's going to be Clayface. It's going to be Clayface, but it's not going to be Clayface.
Haven't they learnt off Marvel that you can't just keep making movies about villains because nobody knows them and nobody wants to see them? Look at Craven.
He's already established that this is a notorious villain and wild serial killer from Creature Commandos. I mean, he's a inconscionable murderer already, and are they going to try to redeem him?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, nobody cares, obviously.
Yeah, it's like, well, I mean,
nobody cares.
It's Clayface, but they're saying that it's not going to be Clayface. So it's like it's Penguin, but it's not really the Penguin, and it's Catwoman, but it's not really Catwoman. It's like, okay,
how does Clayface become Clayface?
Lord knows.
Yeah, a few different origin stories. If you go to Batman the Animated Series, he was an actor who was using a drug to be able to portray different characters that went wrong and eventually caused him to be able to transform into. He could no longer fully control the form he took. But yeah, there's been different origins.
Radioactive Clay. Hello, Drew.
Well, there are multiple characters who have adopted it. Right?
Yeah.
There's
Bitten by a radioactive brick.
I already didn't care about Clayface from Creature Commandos. So
did you finish Creature Commandos? I gave up.
Yeah, it actually got a little better toward the end. I wasn't going to finish it, and my son told me that it gets better. I trust him, so I did. And yeah, it finally got rolling there near the end. But I didn't like the first 3-4 episodes very much. and the music was terrible. Oh my god.
But the question is, why would you make a film about a villain that majority don't know about, only associated with Batman? Why would you not? Why would you make it without Batman? It doesn't
Very
make
good,
any
Tom.
sense.
Okay.
I've heard enough Croatian heavy metal to last me the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Okay, so the BAFTAs were going on today.
Yeah.
Just a couple. Super / Man, the Christopher Reeve story has won Best Documentary at the BAFTAs.
Oh, that's good.
Great.
Yes,
Yeah.
still want
Good
to
on
see
you.
this. Still looking.
I've
forward to
seen
getting
it.
to
It's
watch this.
great. It's
Yeah.
really good. It's really
Very
sad as
depressing,
well. Yeah, it's sad.
I mean, it's a good documentary, but it's not one that I'm going to revisit ever again.
Same here.
Yeah.
I saw it once in the theater. I walked out very, very sad, and then preferred never to think about it again.
Yeah. Doesn't Chris Reeve look? That is Superman.
Fantastic.
That is
That
Superman.
is Superman.
It
He
is.
is
Oh my
Superman.
gosh.
That is Superman, everybody.
It is.
Wow. What
Gunn,
a
are
great
you-
costume.
Yeah, Gunn, are you looking, mate? That is
That-
Superman.
That
is
what a
Superman.
great costume. Fantastic. He looks just like the comic book character. This is what people want, and we're not getting it.
But it's there for them to. It's there. What is
I know.
fucking wrong with these people?
Because
it's there.
I don't understand what's this thing about trying to make the costume look different. You know, with Henry Cavill, they made the blue darker and they put scales on his costume for some reason. You know, other people, this new one, I don't know what the fuck he's wearing, but it doesn't look anything like
Velour,
Superman.
crushed velvet.
This is Superman. This is Superman.
Isn't that the same thing that happened when they were doing like the last half of the 90s Batmans? Is that they kept introducing new suits and new suits and new suits so that they could sell
Yeah.
different toys. So if
Yeah.
if you maintain the old costume
Yeah,
throughout
much.
everything, you can't sell new stuff. And I think it's bullshit too, but that's why. It's a
Probably.
cash in
You
hand
might be
thing.
right. Yeah, you might be right. Yeah.
You could make this suit with modern fabrics, with more detail, you know, and stuff, and still make it look like a more classic
Yeah.
suit. You don't have to add all sorts of panels and armor and weird stuff to it like they continue to do.
And also, right, he was wearing spandex, and you can tell he went to the gym and he fills that costume out just right. He looks perfect. To
Trained
Superman
with
there.
Dave Prowse, Darth
Yeah,
Vader.
exactly.
Okay. Sidestep more BAFTAs.
jeez.
Conclave
Conclave.
Where
Where are the
one-
rainbows?
has won Best Picture at the BAFTAs.
Of course it did.
Of course, because it's
I'm
running the agenda strong in this film, and of course it's going to
The
win.
agenda is strong in this one.
I never saw the Da Vinci Code, so I don't really watch the sequels.
Yeah.
I know this isn't a sequel to.
I want to mention to Scott, they still make variations on toys that didn't show up on screen and they sell quite well. So
Yeah.
you can not only change the faces, but they still have many ways to sell more toys.
Oh, sure. I'm just thinking of the cheaper mass-produced ones that go on the hooks at Walmart. It's like it has to look a little different so that people go, "Oh, this is the new one."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, another BAFTA. Emilia Perez wins Best Film Not in English Language at the BAFTAs.
Oh my God, it's so corrupt, isn't it? Everything's corrupt now. The BAFTAs and the Oscars, everything is
Oh,
so
I
corrupt.
want them to give
Put it
this
in,
all
folks.
13 of the Oscars when the Academy Awards come around. I want it to be the most winning film ever because it will
What's
just
that?
prove
Wait,
how
didn't
completely
they-
pointless.
Didn't they pull it? Didn't they remove her candidacy, her nomination for
I don't know. I don't know.
No, I don't think they've taken out anything. They're
Can
not going to
anybody-
remove the first trans woman that they've. No,
Can
they're not
anybody
gonna
sing
take her
that
out.
song? Can anybody sing that song?
I'd rather not.
No.
play woke games, win woke prizes.
It's such a. I haven't seen the film, obviously, but everybody that's seen it is all.
You know,
uh,
what's really funny is that actor, he did exactly what the film is about. A horrible person who redeems themselves through
Yeah,
getting a
Yeah,
sex change. So
Yeah.
why are they so unwilling to allow for the redemption of what's its name? Because
yeah.
she did all those horrible things when she was a man. So why do the tweets even matter? Because all the murders don't matter in the movie.
Can you
Yeah,
hear
I
me,
got
by
really
the way?
mad when I
What's
heard
your
about
research?
this. Like, this is just the only reason I heard about it is because of how nominated it was. And then when I
Yep.
found out what the story was, I was like, oh, bad people can be redeemed through the power of transitioning.
Yeah.
This sounds stupid. I have no
Yeah.
desire to see the
It can
redemption of an
indeed.
evil person based on their identity politics.
So
This
if
I
you,
can see the agenda.
So the question is, right? The question is, how comes this is nominated for best foreign film, and in America they accept it as not a foreign film?
You
Well,
know,
It's nominated for 13 Oscars, isn't it?
didn't Parasite win Best Picture and Best Foreign Film? And
Oh,
that's
did
a,
they change? They
Yeah, I
changed
think
the
so, yeah,
rules.
yeah,
Did they
yeah.
change the rules?
I'm just saying. I remember when Parasite won, and I was like, "How can you win both? Isn't that
Yeah,
sort
but
of?"
I think it's because it's got it's this was made with American money. Yeah, it's not a
What?
British. It's made with American money. So that's
made with
Netflix
USAID
funded
money,
it.
I guess.
yeah. So that's
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
So if you're in America, it's an American film.
Well,
I
the
would like
funniest thing
to-
about this is because it's made in France. It is literally cultural appropriation, and I thought these people were all against that.
Maybe
Yeah.
they can redo the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, where Luke just cuts off Darth Todger with his lightsaber, and all is forgiven.
Oh yeah, no.
And on that bombshell, let's move on.
Oh yeah.
Sorry.
Next.
Okay.
Oh yes.
So Severance, was this on
Yes.
this week?
Yes.
It was.
Okay, Ian, go on then. You can go first. I know
All
you
right,
haven't watched.
so-
Are you watching season 2 yet?
I have. So basically,
No spoilers, though. No spoilers, folks.
it got sent to me by
No
the Seven
spoilers.
Seas.
Remember,
I
Okay.
watched the whole of season 1, and I
What?
was hooked. Right, even though it starts off with a man crying in the car. I almost turned it off.
Mhm.
And also it had a big gay thing in there. But the reason why I kept watching it was two things. One, because it was very, very interesting. I wanted to see what was going on. And two was because of my friends like 3PO and Price, and they were saying that it's really good. So I thought, okay, I'll forward through because I got good recommendations. I'll forward through. And to tell you the truth, I was hooked. I watched every episode of season 1.
Damn.
It took me 2 days, but I watched them all. And I just adore this show now. And second season, kind of, I'm grappling with it at the
No
moment.
spoilers.
I still think it's good. I'm still grappling at the moment, but I am still interested. It's still got me.
I mean, I think it's good, but like I keep saying, that I hope that they have a real plan. This second season, there have been, you know, like Professor says, it's a slow burn. But sometimes I feel like after the first season, they needed to pick up the pace a bit, because the first season, I can understand why it played out the way it did. But now that you know more, I feel like, you know, there's no point in making it as slow. But that's just me.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. The second season is quite surprising. And you know what, right? What makes me laugh is the villains are so polite, right? And you're just waiting for this guy to literally blow up, but he doesn't. And I reckon it's coming. It's definitely coming. Those goats made me laugh, though.
Oh, you enjoyed the goats.
Thing,
Enjoyed-
it was quite
Did you?
fun.
And you like when they crawled down the hallway?
Yeah,
That the
yeah.
hallway is just a smaller version
Yeah,
of the hallways in the rest of the building. It's perfect.
I've got my theory on it, though. I've got my theory on what's really happening.
Oh yeah, there's lots of
I'll tell you
theories.
in the green room, but
Okay, yeah.
obviously I'm not going to
'cause
spoil
people
it.
haven't
Yeah.
watched it. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody else want to add anything?
Yeah.
Ista, you watching?
Ista?
I just hope the payoff isn't like Lost. I
Oh,
hope they
God.
really know where they're going with this,
Same.
and it's satisfying.
Yeah.
Prof?
Oh, still really enjoying it. I think part of the reason that this new season feels like the pace is rather slow is that now, you know, the first season, yes, the pace was slow. We were very slowly unraveling what's going on with Mark and with this company, but it really focused on Mark and his experience and what was going on inside the company. Now we're following several different characters around. And so each episode is having to tease out stuff with different characters instead of really just telling one story. We're getting, you know, like 4 different perspectives now, which I think has slowed the pace of it down a little bit. But it is helping to expose a little bit about what these people's lives are like, and now we're really starting to see a little bit more of what this company actually is, and a little bit more of how this company works and the experiences of different people inside this very strange, clearly religious, cultish company, and still trying to figure out what exactly it is. Because there's in this episode and previous episodes in this season, there's continually a mention of this project that they're trying to figure out. So I'm guessing by the end of this season, we're going to figure out what this project is, and it's going to help expose a little bit more of what these people in working in macro data refinement are actually doing. And so we might get a little bit more about what it is that their jobs actually are, because it's very strange, right? That they're just sort of clicking numbers, and some of the numbers are scary. And so they hide some of the numbers, and some of the other numbers make them feel good, and they put those in different baskets. So I think we're going to learn a little bit about who these characters are. Why are they so important? And what is it that they're actually doing for the company?
Well, it's Mark. Mark is the one that's most important.
That's the one that he's working, specifically he's working on Cold Harbor.
Because
when they keep talking about. Yeah.
Because when they introduced him to the new team, and when he said he wanted his old team back, they had no choice, or Mr. Milkshake, as they call him, had no choice but to bring them back, because he is important.
Yeah, because
I think we're going to realize. Also, another thing I'd like to point out is Ben Stiller's direction in this is bloody great. He can direct some of the shots that he gives you, especially in season 2 when they're in the forest place.
High praise.
They're terrific, absolutely terrific. And even though he's a bit of an arsehole in real life, Ben Stiller, he can direct.
Price, thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think that it's until now I'm enjoying it. I just have that same feeling that, as Phobos was saying, and I've said it a few times here. I just want to know that they are able to stick the landing, that they have a plan, and that there's a limited amount of seasons that this will have that will actually tell a cohesive story. For now, I'm still on board. I like what I'm seeing, but I really, really hope that it's not going to be one of those yanking my chains type of shows.
I will add that the actual concept of what they're doing can kind of be terrifying. When I was young, I used to think, what if I could just black out all memory of going to work? So I'd leave in the morning, come back home. And this is similar to that. It definitely, man, this show definitely starts some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead. Go on.
No, I was just saying it actually plays on that idea but then you see the other side of it, of the literal horror of there's a version of you that never gets to leave work.
Yeah.
You're only ever at work. And so the sort of horror side of it comes from that.
Do you know, I think, what's the guy's name with the glasses? I keep forgetting his name. Out of the 4 of them, the little round guy with the glasses.
The black guy?
Now you said it, now I forgot his name too.
Zach Cherry?
Yeah, the little, he doesn't put up with any nonsense.
Dylan.
Dylan.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Dylan.
He is the breakthrough character, in my opinion, in this. Mm-hmm. He started off as a company man, then suddenly he's fighting against the system, and he's well developed in this. I'm so happy he's in it. Do you know what I mean? I think he's very funny.
Mm-hmm. His name Julius.
I literally can't remember his name.
Yeah. I'll say I don't like that actor, but he does a fantastic job in the show. So for me, because I hated him in Fallout.
Right. Yeah.
So that means something if an actor can break through your own personal animus toward them.
Okay, so you guys are still like
Dylan is the name.
Dylan.
Yeah, Z said Dylan.
Yeah.
You guys are still liking it. Recommend it. Yeah.
I recommend it highly.
Okay,
highly.
There you go, Scotty. One for your watch list there, mate. Okay,
there we go. Written down.
This dropped this week.
I didn't see it yet.
Yeah. Has anybody seen it yet?
I have.
Yes,
I have.
Don't do spoilers though. I
no
want to see it.
No spoilers.
No spoilers. This is the last batch then of.
Yep. It's wrapped.
I won't tell you that Miss Miyagi turns up at the ending, and not really. Jackie Chan comes in.
Okay, shall we just leave it at that, because I don't think people have watched it, have they?
Well, no spoilers. I will simply say I really enjoyed these last few episodes. I think they did a great job wrapping up the story for the characters.
Nice.
And I think if you've been enjoying the show up until now, you're going to enjoy these last few here. It's
good.
a really good conclusion to the story.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, maybe we'll come back next week and talk about that. Okay, let's move on then. The polyphemus Cyclops scenes in Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey will be reportedly filmed at Nestor's Cave in Greece with a 6x6 meter mechanical anamorphic puppet.
Anthropomorphic.
Thank you.
Yes.
Built inside the cave. What?
That's incredible. That's like 20 feet to a side.
Well, it's going to be augmented with CGI anyway. So.
Yeah. This is going to be a huge boondoggle of a film, and it's going to cost an enormous amount of money, and it's going to be a failure at the box office.
Did you see the Trojan horse prop they've made as well? This huge fucking horse. Yeah.
My only problem with this film is the casting. He seems to be all over the place.
Oh no, it's going to be a mess. It's going to be a huge mess.
Spider-Man's in it.
Who isn't in it?
And his wife.
Everyone's in it. I wouldn't be surprised if I get a call next week. Everyone is in this movie.
Okay, we'll just move on because we got.
Yeah.
Shall we just move on?
Yeah.
Going in.
Anything to add?
Nah.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Boom. Oh man. Peter Dinklage has been cast as in Dexter. Whoa. Is he going to be a serial killer and bite your kneecap or something? What's going on there? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be.
I mean, if he wasn't a douche, he's a good actor. I'm not saying he couldn't.
Very true.
He is a good actor. On Game of Thrones, I thought he was great.
Well,
so
he's a douche.
I bet there are no other dwarves cast in this movie.
Yes, thank you.
Right, but the thing is that the fact that you're a little person or whatever, a dwarf, it doesn't mean that you can't you can have something to do on a production. This isn't like it's not like they said that now he's the new Captain America or something like that. They said that he's on this show. Maybe there's a character who's a little person. That's not what's going to make or break the show, in my opinion. I just personally am kind of annoyed with him because I think he's annoying. And the other thing is that I think that this show is kind of annoying. I feel like the original Dexter, I was barely able to, watch that one. I really don't care about all these prequels and sequels and all these weird things. So maybe I'm not the target audience.
Why did they kill?
Spoilers. It's just another sign of the creative bankruptcy in Hollywood that we're getting another sequel, prequel, whatever, instead of something new and fresh.
Well, what happened was that when they brought it back after the really bad last season, they wanted to correct it, but they didn't. So basically, what they did is they brought it back and they killed him off. But they didn't realize how popular it was. It got the biggest ratings. So now they're like, what are we going to do now? We've just killed him off. And so they created this whole stupid idea to bring him back again. So he's back again. You know what I mean?
Couldn't they have changed it by not showing or just
well, they didn't. They thought it was going to end because they didn't realize how popular it was going to be when they brought it back. So
the show after this,
the
show after this will be called Dexter: The Multiverse.
Yeah, but in the beginning, so they made this one, the prequel. What is it? Is it Original Sin, with another guy playing Dexter when he was young. And in the beginning of that first episode, he got shot in the last one, right? Spoilers. In the beginning of the first episode of that one, you see them bring him into the hospital and trying to revive him. And then it's obviously Dexter thinking back when he was young. And then you got that whole series about him being young. Okay. And now that's over. They're going to go back to him being alive. So.
Internet Help Desk, Wrench World of Sport, Dexter 2.0, Blade Runner, Blade Dexter, Replicant Dexter. No?
Nah.
No.
Okay. I agree that it should have ended really on season 4, Dexter. They shouldn't have carried on with it. They've really spoilt the brand now.
Scotty, fan of Dexter?
No.
There's a death that happened in the first regular series of Dexter, and that death really made me not want to watch the show anymore.
In fact, I think Dexter was the first one on TV to have a knife go directly into a person. You see it in that one shot. So yeah, and they carried on doing that as they went on.
That's not what caused me. There's something, I don't want to say it, but there's something in the original series that I watched, like, I don't know if it was 3, 4, 5. I think it was 4 seasons. And then something happened and I'm like, man, this show is really depressing me. And I checked out. Don't need to see anymore. Don't care about all of this before and after. This all just looks like nonsense. Even the original series outstayed its welcome.
It did, but I still love Dexter, and I watched the latest one. So, something to watch, I guess.
Okay,
that's fine. I mean, I'm not hating on people that like it. I myself just don't love it.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Oh, Paddington in Peru.
Okay, this is out in the States. Paddington in Peru debuts with Aeon Cinema score. Is that good?
I think so.
Sure.
Is it?
It's not. Yeah, it's not.
It's a good film as well. It's not as good as the second one. They changed the actress who plays the mother in this one. I'm assuming she wasn't available.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's okay. This one's okay. As I said, it wasn't as good as the second. Second and the first one were great.
Up against Captain America in the States.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Okay, a little sidestep then. Paddington 4 is officially in the works. A new TV series and stage show musical is also in development.
TV series? Well, for kids, you mean? They've already got one.
Yeah.
Or are they talking about an actual CGI like they did with what's that bear thing with
Ted?
What was that? What's that one with the teddy bear? Ted.
Ted.
Yeah, like Ted. Are they going to do it like Ted?
Ted the teddy bear.
Yeah, Ted the teddy bear. Do you remember that show? They had a TV show of it as well. They had the movies and then they had the TV show. Yeah,
It was actually pretty funny.
yeah, it was. It was pretty fun.
Okay. Okay. Maybe they should just stick to the films. Yeah.
That's what I reckon.
Let's move on then.
What's this?
Oh God, yeah, this.
Mickey
Bong Joon Ho, Mickey 17 debuts with 76 on Rotten Tomatoes.
I still want to see it.
Do you?
yeah.
Isn't that Batman?
But that's a different
No,
guy.
it's
Yeah, it's him. It's
it's-
the guy who
yeah,
plays Batman.
It's Twilight.
It's a
I call
sparkly
it
vampire.
Twilight. Yeah.
That's yeah, it's him.
But
It's
the
good.
the preview is really compelling. It reminds me of that movie Moon.
oh yeah, you go.
A
Look.
taste of that, yeah.
Moon the sitcom.
The trailers annoyed me. Every time I see these trailers, it annoys me. Maybe because I don't love Robert Pattinson, but somehow I look at the trailer and I get annoyed.
I'll tell you what annoys Ian. Trailer starts now.
Oh, I hate that because it doesn't.
Yeah.
The trailer starts at the moment the first still the frame is on screen,
That's right.
not like 10 seconds in. Utter bullshit. Okay. One for the high seas, I think, then. Fede Alvarez says he hopes to begin filming Alien Romulus sequel this year.
I hope
Sweet.
not.
I hope so.
I hope not. That movie was annoying.
It was never going to rise to the excellence of the first two, but it was fine. It was fine.
It was a lazy rehash, and it could have been actually good, but they made every effort to make it shitty.
Yeah, it could. There was no reason why it couldn't have risen to the first two.
Really badly written.
Really badly written, I agree.
Yeah. I haven't cared about an alien movie since Aliens. So
Alien. No, Carl, shut up.
No, I'll take the hit for that one. I like Alien 3. I like Alien 3.
Alien 3 isn't very good.
The director's
I
cut is
saw the
bearable, isn't it?
director's cut. It was
Yeah.
better.
it
Yeah,
is
it's
better.
better. It's
It is
better.
better.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's a shame.
But at some point, like, you have to figure like what's going to kill the thing. It's sitting there in molten lead for.
What I don't like about 3 is that it kind of disrespects the second one. The first and
Yes.
second one, they continue each other in a logical
Yes.
way. The third one just comes and does like a middle finger to the previous two.
Just throws
I
it
never
away.
liked that. That's never. I never liked that strategy of like, oh, you invested time and watch these movies. Screw you. No, screw you. I'm not gonna watch your crappy movie now.
See, I always
Yeah,
thought
I
Alien
almost
3
walked out of the.
Theatre. Go on, Scotty.
I always thought Alien 3 was a very beautiful, dour movie that really was about the nihilism of no, you can't win. And I understand how that undermines some people's enjoyment of the third movie because you had followed Ripley and then Hicks and Newt joining Ripley on it. But
Yeah.
the cruelty of the universe was too much and was always going to take everything away from Ripley. And that's why it's not satisfying just to
It was
watch her
mean.
completely. It was
Yeah.
mean, but
Yeah, it was
when you
mean.
do watch it, it's
Probably
something
the
that
third
is.
best. It's probably the third best Alien movie, but anything that's not Alien and Aliens is pretty much crappy. So you're basically, it's a competition of which movie is more crappy, and in that one, it's like the least crappy, but still
Yeah.
crappy.
Well, it's like Terminator. The first two are good, and then you can stop.
And then after that, just forget it.
I
Swap-
almost walked out of the movie theater at the start of that movie once. Spoilers. Once I realized that Newt and Hicks were killed.
Dead,
Not
yeah.
Hicks.
Um,
Yeah, Hicks.
Swappers sent me on the other week the screen or the makeup test for Neil Blomkamp's Alien with
Yeah, it looks good. Yeah.
with Hicks. It looks fantastic.
Yep.
And they just binned it.
Of course they did.
Has anybody seen that high school that put on an Alien play?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw it. Yeah.
That was incredible. Oh my
was.
God, what they did with high school stuff.
And
was
Sigourney Weaver turned
amazing.
up to see it. She
Oh,
turned
yeah.
up, didn't she, at one of the screenings because they
Yeah.
were so blown away about they all, like, I think it was her and somebody else came to see it and shook hands with them and all that. Yeah, absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that's my third favorite Alien.
Okay. Let's move on then, folks.
Godzilla.
Oh, Takeshi Yamazaki has begun writing and storyboarding the Godzilla -1 sequel. It will have a higher budget than the previous film, which was made for 15 mil US.
So it'd probably be 20 mil then.
Whatever that guy wants to do, let him do it. Pay him.
Yeah, he's
Incredible.
earned it.
But
yeah.
let's keep the budget reasonable, and you'll make great money from it.
Did
And
you
actually,
see-
No.
Did you see the behind the scenes where he just had one room and I think it was 8 people and he kept moving his chair to each person? Yeah, talking to them. It's like Hollywood operates in a different world. don't
Did
they?
most of it from a little kitchen as well. He did.
Yeah.
He did it all in a little kitchen,
Yeah.
kitchenette.
Mhm.
I actually think that's the problem with Marvel. You know, having a budget constraint actually forces you to be creative and improvise. When you have infinite money, it never seems to help.
but you can't pay 400 different producers if you have a $15
That's
million
right.
budget.
That's the problem
yeah.
right there. That's the
Here you
problem.
go. Internet Updesk Wrench will spot Godzilla, 15 million. Captain African for 500 million. Boom.
I've gotten like 5 or 6 people that don't like Godzilla at all to watch Godzilla -1, and one of them ended up in tears. It was, and they all loved it.
I liked it, but I didn't think it was great as what everybody else was saying about it. I thought it was okay personally, and I did enjoy it. I've got to admit, but
Yeah, it's very enjoyable.
yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't the genius that everybody was saying it was.
And you know
I
what?
prefer
Because
Shin
liked it,
Godzilla.
and
I
you,
thought it was
and you
good.
know what? Because you had to listen to it through the subtitles, you were paying attention to it.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I'm not very good at reading the
Once you
but I
got
did-
past the subtitles,
yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, it was, I did enjoy it, and it did deserve it got an Oscar, didn't it, for effects? It did deserve that, and it does deserve a sequel. So,
Did you say
what can I
this?
say?
Manuel Grell wrenched. I liked it, but it was shit. Beggy, did you say that?
I don't know. Did I? Let me know.
I thought the film was brilliant, and it did everything it set out to do damn near perfectly.
I thought it was very good. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, great movie, everybody. Still haven't seen it from the. I've only watched it at the cinema. I've never rewatched it.
I did.
Anybody
guess
wa-
that
anybody
his
watch the
wife
black
was
and white?
Still alive, though.
Well, yeah.
That woman was still alive halfway through.
Did
the
anybody
film.
watch the black and white version?
No.
Yeah.
I did not get to see the black and white one.
Or just turn your TV black and white. Anyway, okay.
Is that like Justice League black and white version?
Yeah. Nearly
wasn't
gone.
sorry, wasn't that Skeleton Crew? Sorry, I missed something.
Yeah, it is Skeleton Crew, mate. You're right.
Nearly 40 years after The Goonies, a sequel to 1985 is in the works. Go ahead,
Why?
everybody.
Why?
Nope.
No.
No.
Why?
This is a dumb idea. They should just
Will not watch it.
Scrap it. Yeah.
Well, and
Not
I'm not a
interested.
fan of the Goonies, but
I don't
what
think the first
differenti-
one was good either, but yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the original, but I'm
Yep.
just curious
I mean,
because
it's
you guys are fans of Cobra Kai. What sets apart the legacy sequel of this as opposed to Cobra Kai? And I'm not trying to start. I'm just asking.
Well, it depends. It depends because Cobra Kai went in a different direction. It didn't try to imitate what went before. It went in a completely different original direction, in my opinion. So I'm hoping they do the same with this. If they are going to make a sequel, it's not going to be just a rehash of this film. It's going to be something completely different, but still in that world. That's what I'm hoping.
Also, to be fair, in the past maybe 10 years, we've had 5 zillion reboots, remakes,
Yeah.
whatever it is,
Yeah.
and there's about 2 things that worked. One was Cobra Kai, and the other one I think was Top Gun Maverick. Those
Yeah.
are the only
Oh,
things
yeah.
that they did like some kind of continuation, and you're like, hey, this is good. But most of the time, 99% of the time, it's all a failure. So yeah, this could theoretically be the next Cobra Kai. The chances of it being the next Cobra Kai extremely slim, and I feel like this is just going to be a cash grab, member berries turd.
Also, I'm scared that when they do cast these new kids, one of them will be trans, one of them will have blue hair, the other one will be black. Do you know what I mean? All that stuff, and
Jesus.
that's just gonna kill it all.
Are you shooting from the hip again, Ian?
And also, right, one of their
Leg.
parents are gonna have is gonna have a same sex parent, or it will be 2 women or 2 men. You know, you can see it coming.
From the hip, everybody.
So that's the reason why I'm a bit apprehensive.
I think I was a little too old when the original movie came out, but I've talked to several people that loved the movie when they were kids and have subsequently watched
I had the video
and
game.
They didn't think it held up very well.
No, it doesn't hold up very well at all.
And what
I
was
think-
the last really good movie that Spielberg made?
West Side Story.
No, that was terrible. That was terrible. I think the last good movie he made was
Schindler's List.
Schindler's List.
this-
Yeah, Schindler's List.
This is probably also some nonsense. Basically, Spielberg didn't direct The Goonies. He was a
No.
producer.
Yes.
And I don't know that in this case, Spielberg or Columbus are going to come back. They may get executive producer credits because they were in the original, and contractually they have to do that. But it could be a completely different, set of producers really doing it with different actors and different directors. And it'll the same way that Steven Spielberg was an executive producer on Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, but he didn't really contribute anything to that movie.
No.
I think that this is the same situation with this.
Maybe if they
I think Chris Columbus will direct because he hasn't done anything lately.
Make
So I
it a
think
TV
he'll
series.
step in. I think he'll step in to direct it. And you're right about Spielberg. Spielberg will just go, yeah, okay, give me some money. Yeah, good luck.
make,
You know what I mean?
make it a TV series, it might work.
I don't even think they're going to bring Chris Columbus because they're going to say he's old and blah, blah, blah. They're going to bring some new guy, like the guy that made Captain America 4. That'll be the type of person that'll make this
Damn.
crappy movie.
So it's going to be
maybe.
a successor. Melvin D. Police, Sir Melvin of Wrenched. Hey, you gays.
Oh,
Oh, we did
jeez.
that. Very good.
I mean, yeah, Chris Columbus. I mean, what was the last thing he did? Was it Pixels?
Okay.
Yes.
I was at the
Oh.
right age for Goonies. Never
I
did
enjoyed
anything-
it.
Never
I
did
enjoyed
anything for me at all.
Ditto. Yeah,
I
I'm the same
enjoyed it
way.
as a kid, but
Didn't
going
do
back and
anything.
watching it as an adult, it's not great.
I love Richard Donner, but I think this film was one of Donner's worst because
There you
these
go.
kids, I didn't understand what they were saying. They just kept talking over each other, and I was like, "Oh God, please shut up, please shut up." You know what I mean? So that's what I thought of it when I first saw it.
Haven't watched this one in a very long time, but I suspect, based on what you guys are saying, maybe it wouldn't hold up. I don't know. I would have to see.
It's going to be shit, everybody.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
It's going to be really good, I think. It's a wild ride. It's a wild ride. I'm really exhausted. We're working really well to get it out on time. I'm excited. I think no one's going to be able to predict what happens. There's some big twists this time around. It's so fun. That's Fallout 2, everybody.
Who said all that then?
Ella Purnell.
She said all that. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The star, yeah.
Well, here's hoping it's not full of the agenda. And there's hoping.
Did we
'Cause I
all
liked
like?
the first season.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked
Yeah,
the
season
first
1 was good.
It had its ups and
moments.
downs. Overall, I enjoyed it. I gave it a lot of
Slack.
I gave it a lot of leeway
Yeah.
because it was based on a video game, and so some of the stuff that's happening is very video gamey. Like, oh look, I can just inject myself with this thing and it magically heals me. Right? It's kind of absurd, but
Also,
I let it go.
It's the reason why I say that is because it has happened in the past. Resident Alien first season was absolutely terrific,
Sorted, yeah.
and then they brought season 2 out, and it was so cringe and woke.
I couldn't even finish the second season.
They
I never
spoiled
came back.
it.
When they went on about fair pay, I just thought, fuck that,
Yeah,
I'm out.
I gave up. I only watched one episode. Was enough for me. I
Fair
thought,
pay.
no,
I'm
no.
still going as well. You know that.
Yeah, the first season was brilliant.
going.
It was so funny. The first season.
Okay, I get the feeling with Fallout, if you've played the game, you weren't happy. For the purists, weren't happy. For the normies, the people who are just watching it because it's something to watch, it was. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I think that my favorite video game series is Fallout. Like I play Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4 and 3. I'm going through the original Interplay ones at Anti-Derivative Jill's channel on Saturday nights sporadically.
Okay. Nice plug.
And so and just in terms of and I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was really true to the source, and it did. It reminded me exactly of what I wanted out of a Fallout show.
That girl's eyes looks like it's going to pop out of her head.
Yeah, they're getting bigger and
so
bigger,
big,
aren't
yeah.
they? Yeah,
They're huge.
Yeah. Okay. So Amazon just dumped that in one go, thinking it'd
They
just
did, yeah.
disappear, and everybody liked it.
I'm scared Amazon's in charge of season 2. So it's just, I don't know.
Okay.
Might be crap. Who knows?
They
What's
could
next?
They could visit Los Angeles, and it'd be they wouldn't need to dress the set, would they?
Yeah.
Too soon.
Too soon. Sorry, folks. I love you, LA. Okay.
What's this?
A live-action Dungeons and Dragons series, The Forgotten Realms, is in the works at Netflix. Sean Levy, Deadpool, is producing the theory.
Can't they do something original?
That's really going to depend on which version of Dungeons and Dragons.
They're going to do whatever is annoying. That's what they're going to do.
It's going to be the new version. Yeah, it's going to be the latest update
with happy Mexican orc families,
cheerful family orc families. Yep.
I don't know anything about Dungeons.
Trans goblins. It gives a whole new definition to magic missile, I guess.
Move along.
Move along.
Wow, tough crowd tonight.
Indeed. Okay. Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan wants more good guys in lead stories after characters like Walter White, Darth Vader, and Hannibal Lecter have become too inspirational. Viewers say, man, those dudes are badass. I want to be that cool when that happens.
No, I agree. I totally agree. They should have more heroes, real heroes on screen. Because Hollywood is actually having this trend where they're getting bad guys now and turning
Walter
them.
White was a hero in a way.
He was. Yeah, I got to admit, he was.
Anti-hero.
Yeah. Although he did kill what's his name's girlfriend, or let her
and
die.
Mike.
Yeah,
Mike.
she was bad news. She was bad, and Mike was causing problems.
Yeah, he's certainly an anti-hero. He was not a more traditional.
Well, initially,
hero.
the thing with him that's interesting is that he did want to help his family initially.
Yeah,
he just kind of went off the deep end. That's what I think. What makes that show special is that he was a good guy at the beginning and did have good intentions, but I don't know. Seeing where he ended up, that's what makes the show interesting.
It does.
Do you know, I'm thinking a rewatch might be in order.
He deserves to play Lex Luthor. He'd be the perfect Lex Luthor, in my opinion. He would really be good as Lex Luthor. He's got the gravitas. He's got the acting chops.
He would have
I-
been, yes.
Yeah.
Ooh,
I
here you go.
remember when I saw the first episode of the show, and I was just blown away by Bryan Cranston's acting.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more of a real tragic figure even than an anti-hero. I think a lot of people think that what's tragic about him is him selling meth, but it was really the guy waited his whole life not living life. He waited to live his life until he was going to die, and it was that weakness of character in him that led to the creation of the monster.
Yeah.
Well, it was also pride.
Well, his family
Yeah,
treated him like
gay
shit.
pride.
His family treated him like shit, though. Let's face it. And it was because that played a big part in it as well.
Yeah, but he didn't stand up for himself either.
No, he didn't.
And that's why they started treating him differently when he grew a pair, essentially.
He was offered assistance, and it was because of his pride that he turned to crime in the first place. So his moral compass was never
that's
really.
true.
That's exactly true. Yeah.
That's true.
But that's part of his weakness. His
Oh,
he had too much pride and weakness of character.
Gay pride, yes.
Did anybody see Better Call Saul? Because they had that sequence in one of the episodes where they actually went back in time and when they first met him. That was a really funny scene.
I think Better Call Saul is a better show. I think it's one of the best shows ever made for television.
You know, Better Call Saul, and I don't want to do spoilers. It would have gotten from me. I still think Breaking Bad is better, but Better Call Saul would have gotten, and I'd say almost as good as Breaking Bad or on the same level. But the last 15 minutes of the finale, in my opinion, a few things happen there that are unforgivable. And unfortunately, as much as it pains me, it's still a great show. But man, did they mess up that ending.
You didn't like the ending?
No, not at all.
Spoilers.
I thought it was good. I thought
it was out of character, and I don't want to say anything. There's something that there's a main character there, and whatever happens with that main character is out of character, and it almost feels like there's a little bit of
Well, he had his epiphany, didn't he?
No, yes, I'm saying if you look closely, the reason why I like it so much, if you look closely, he did it for one person and one person only, and I thought that was the thing that actually made him realize what he was doing, and that's the reason why he ended up where he ended.
I couldn't get behind that. That whole thing annoyed me.
And he basically wanted that to happen to him, and he realized where he was is
don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Him.
He had everything in his hand. You know, he made all the right moves, and at the end, that kind of ending, there's something that happens there, and I'm like, man, this is crappy. Like, it really it brought me like with this good feeling until those last 15 minutes, and I'm like, man, this is a fumble.
I think he realized that if he was on the outside, and if he was allowed to keep doing if he was allowed to be free, then he would never have stopped, and that's the reason. And because
that's
of love,
what I want.
That
makes sense with the character. He never stops because he's him. You know what I mean? That's what makes sense to me. I don't believe that suddenly he'd be whatever they did there.
Because of love. That's why he did it.
Nonsense. This guy loved himself. He didn't care about anything. I don't buy any of it.
Because he had the chance. He did. He had the chance to actually get away with it, but he didn't. He basically
that is the problem. That is exactly the problem.
Wow. We're gonna be going right.
Yeah, it was the pussy ending. It was a pussy ass ending. That's
okay. Pussy ending.
I think we're missing the point at what a fantastic actress Rhea Seehorn is.
Yeah,
and how amazing Vince is.
Really good. I really like her. Really like her.
Absolutely.
I think she's did a fantastic job on the show. Nothing I said is her fault. I just think that they could have made the more man ending and less of the pussy one.
Redemption, my friend. Redemption.
Breaking Bad creator Vince Gilligan's next show will be a psychological sci-fi that explores the human condition in a surprising way. Compared to classics like E.T., Rhea Seehorn will star in the lead, already wrapped filming and coming to Apple TV.
Price.
Take my money.
Price. I just want to say one thing.
No!
Right? One thing about what you said, right? I think it's great that me and you have opposing opinions of the ending.
But he's wrong.
No, he's not wrong. But
He is.
right, no, but
Bryce,
hold on.
you're wrong.
No, shut up. Let me say
No,
something.
it's fine.
okay,
I
right?
appreciate that he has a different
No,
opinion. We
Ian's
don't have to
wrong.
agree.
Let me say something, right? I think that's the beauty of the ending, that it could either be one way or the other.
Yeah, Brian hates it.
You could say that you didn't like the ending
Yeah.
because of da. And I think it was constructed that way. But
Not-
I honestly believe that the reason why I did it was because of love, and you don't. But it doesn't matter because
Not
it's
Brian
a great,
hates it,
a great
yes.
TV show anyway. I thought.
Yeah, not Brian hates it.
I know.
Right now, there are two creatives in Hollywood that I trust: Vince Gilligan and Taylor Sheridan. So
Oh,
take
yes.
my money, Rhea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Vince
I'm
Gilligan,
in. I'll watch this.
Why she didn't win anything for that performance,
she
did she?
didn't.
She was
She
fucking
didn't.
off
She was
the
really
chart.
good.
No,
They
she
didn't-
was completely snubbed by the Emmys.
No, she was
The
nominated.
whole show was
She
snubbed.
was
The whole
nominated.
show.
She was
Didn't
nominated
win
for
one
something, but
single
didn't
award.
win. I think
Never didn't
Wasn't
win
she
anything.
just nominated one time in the last
one time.
Three
Yeah,
times.
they didn't
Yeah,
respect
three
the show
times.
or her or Vince
They
Gilligan.
don't.
They don't
Yeah.
like him. But what I'll say is, I want to say about Vince Gilligan and Taylor Sheridan, I think that Vince Gilligan has about like 95% trust from me, just because of what he did with that ending of Better Call Saul. It kind of hurt his credit a little bit, but only a little. And when it comes to Taylor Sheridan, that guy has about like a 60 to 70% score with me, because after he shit the bed with Yellowstone, it's really hard for me to give him that same type of credit. I'll still
Okay.
watch his shows, but really suspicious of him regarding sticking the landing.
It
There you
didn't
go.
even win photography in the in.
They won
in,
fuck all, Ian.
It won nothing. It was ridiculous.
Not Brian wrenched. Hello, Brian. Good to see you. They thought she was. This is a thinking man's joke, everybody. Thinking man's joke incoming. Diarrhea. Very good, Brian.
She's a good actress. She really
That's
is.
a good joke as well. Okay.
Yeah, she is good.
Okay.
I wasn't totally down with the ending either, but it didn't detract from the previous seasons of just
Oh yeah.
incredibly written and acted and directed television. And it has what everything is missing these days, which is subtext. You can watch a whole episode without sound.
Yes. Yes.
It
It
really
was
tells a
brilliant.
story
That's-
visually. Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
Okay. Do we go to the 3 hours, or are we going to skip some slides?
Your call.
I'd
It's
like
your
to
vote,
do it.
Captain.
Yeah, I'd like to do 2:30 because it's good for the. We could always do a little bonus show afterwards if you want, if anybody's available. Shall we do some skippage?
Yeah, we're almost close
then?
to the end. You can skip it, yeah.
Okay. This week's
Is
game
it?
has been. No,
Is it Chip?
no, no, no,
Is
no,
it Greg?
no,
Is
no,
it? Is it Daisy?
no.
No,
Oh,
it's
God,
worse. It's
Cleaner. I'm
worse.
looking forward to it.
The Cleaner is definitely on my next movie to go watch. The Cleaner.
Ah,
everybody.
definitely going to see that,
Book your
mate.
tickets, everybody, for The Cleaner. Okay.
What's this? Robert Burnett. What's he saying about it? I can't even with this. Cast and crew celebrate the end of filming as Starfleet Academy. Oh, Starfleet Academy.
It's
Not
Skeleton Crew, the Starfleet edition.
Look at that
this is
girl with the
crap.
glasses and the pigtails. What the hell's that all about? What the
That's
hell?
Awful.
That's Star
Tootie
Trek.
from Back to
Star Trek, everybody.
How comes there's no men on the poster?
Yeah, think of Captain Kirk standing on the bridge in the episode where no man has gone before, and then look at this picture.
Turning
Doomsday
a boy
Machine.
brand into a female brand is not good because it's boys that watch this stuff. It's not women. Yes, some women watch it, but majority of it is men. And to actually turn that away from the main audience is so stupid.
Alex Kurtzman. Fuck off.
The only time I'm going to watch it, because I know he's recurring, is when Paul Giamatti is on. That's
Not
it.
even that.
I'll
Not
watch
even
it for
that
Paul
me.
Giamatti, and then I'll
What?
get my sense
Not
then.
even that for me. They can
Yeah,
kiss my bum.
Strokes.
I'll watch Platoon eviscerate it. That'll probably be enough.
That would be
He
my
He
vote.
won't go anywhere near it.
Mm.
He won't go anywhere near it. I don't think. Honestly, I don't think anybody will go anywhere near it. It is the final insult.
No, it's not. It'll be more.
I thought Section 31 was the final. I really did.
No, this is
People
Kurtzman's fucking wet dream, isn't it?
People have funerals for Star Wars. They say the last Star Trek thing is the last Star Trek thing, and they salivate and they claw and they wait for the next piece of shit so that they can say, thank you, it sucks. But yeah, I'm always hoping for better Star Wars and better Star Trek, and the only thing that's attracting me to this is just to see what the hell they do with Paul Giamatti.
The one on the left, yes. Okay. That's the gone.
I just started reading William Shatner's book, Leonard, about Leonard Nimoy. It's really good. So if anybody's interested in real Star Trek, it's definitely worth a read.
There you go. Ruddy, all their parents. Yeah, yes, most definitely. And finally. Okay, I think we did this on Wednesday, but we'll do it again.
Oh,
woohoo! Hey!
Rebecca Gold is back. Our Indiegogo is live. Spot our action-packed assassin thriller. Donate now, and Ian will love you forever.
I will indeed.
I'll just say, Gary at Nerdrotics, for fuck's sake, retweet these, please.
I don't think Gary.
Ian, I really got it. I'm not trying to blow smoke up your ass, man, but your stuff is really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
You did an amazing job with Rebecca Gold, and you had to deal with a casting change of a major character, and I don't think I've seen anyone do it better.
Thank you.
But your action scenes are great. Your dynamics with the camera is great. I've seen your lighting get better and better. And dude, that spy thing you made, I don't even remember the name. With the woman, that was magnificent. Like,
thank you.
That's how you do a girl boss, man. Hollywood should watch your stuff.
Yeah.
So what are the tiers? What are the perks, Ian? Prices, perks? Do you know?
I'll have to open up again, but look, you know what, right? Seriously, if you've got a bit of money, just chuck it my way.
That's what I said.
It's only 4 days gone by, and I think we've raised 390 quid so far.
Not enough.
So,
it's not enough.
Yeah,
Ian is funding this with his own money, folks.
Yeah.
For your entertainment.
Let's put it this way. The Drinker, when he made his short film, he got, what is it? How much did he get?
About $300,000.
300,000. I could have made a whole movie with that. But there you go.
You should have applied to USAID for a film grant.
I'm not American though. That's the problem.
I don't think that matters.
I'll give money to anybody.
Yeah, that's actually that's even better.
Yeah, interesting.
There is, as I said, there's an Indiegogo where you can get perks. What are the perks here? Scripts?
No, perks is is it shout out? Was it media shout out? Credit in the film?
Yeah.
There's somebody's already got the mask though, because we had a perk.
Okay.
Yeah, somebody's actually literally brought that one, so that's quite good. Posters, and if you've got 1,000 quid, the co-producer on it.
Price, have you saved your $1,000 up yet?
Unfortunately, I don't have that kind of money around, but I'm working on it.
I will say there's obviously the Indiegogo, but if you just want to donate some money, there's also Ian's got a GoFundMe. The link for that is in the description of the live stream.
Also, if you go to the site, the Indiegogo site, right, the best thing you can do if you don't have any money is to share it. To share
share.
Yeah, but also on the site, they've got an exclusive clip there. It's not very long, but it's a good clip that nobody's seen. Watch that clip at the end of the bottom, and also you can watch the interrogation, which basically tells you what happened to her after season 1, with the new girl in it. But I know it's on the site already, but this version is graded better and it's in scope. So, knock yourself.
How much is it to get a date with
Ella?
Yeah, you should offer that.
No. Yeah.
$10,000.
Yeah. Wow. That would be good.
You'd make it happen, wouldn't you?
$20,000.
You'd make it happen, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ian, is everyone in this a professional actor? Because like the sort of the Spy Masters, I mean, they were fantastic.
Yeah, the girl that's in Spy Girls, she is Charlie Webster. She is a presenter in real life. So I can't remember how I met her. but yeah, everybody seems to fancy her. You know, we've had some great remarks about how she's hot and sexy.
No, I was talking about the old people in Rebecca Gold that sort of controlling. Their
Oh.
acting is phenomenal, man.
Oh yeah, they're actors. They're actors. All of them. They all did it for free because they like the script. So, which is quite.
And
good.
the mates of yours, which helps.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, friends of mine.
Okay. That is Rebecca Gold, everybody. Even if it's, I know we're after Christmas and bills are coming through, but let's see if we can help.
Yeah, even if you're
the
sharing
old
it,
boy out. Let's see if we can help the old boy
share
out.
it. Yeah, just share it. Share it because
Okay.
Save the cost of getting a ticket to Captain America and send that money to Ian instead.
I promise
But
you, better than G20.
but obviously make sure you save some money for the cleaner, because the cleaner.
Oh yeah, the cleaner.
know,
The cleaner is going to be the movie of the year for me.
Okay.
That is it, folks. There are more slides, but I think 2 hours 30 is spot on.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Red Hulk, everybody.
Just for men.
Okay. Chat, you are wonderful. Thank you for the interaction, the super chats, and just turning great numbers tonight. What more can I say? You guys are the best. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you, folks. I will thank the guests. Ist Phobos. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers. Thanks so much for having me on. It's
Great to have
always
you on,
fun.
mate. Yeah. Mega Geek. Cheers, Ed.
No worries, guys. No worries.
I'm just going to do... okay. I was going to do a little bit of shuffling, but it's perfect avatars. Scotty, Romeo 37. Cheers, Scotty. Great to have you back, mate.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. This is fun.
Professor R2.
Yes, thank you. Great to see everyone tonight. Great to be here with the wonderful panel and see everyone in the chat. It's good to be here and have a great week.
I thought it was perfect avatars, but it wasn't. Okay, Miss Paralyze. Thank you, Miss Paralyze. And last but by no means least, what can I say about this man?
Mr. Reason.
Possibly the grumpier, the better. Price of Reason. Cheers, Price.
Cheers, man.
That is it. Who's plugging? Anybody?
Anyone wants to plug?
Scotty, you plugging Jill's?
Nah, I'm good. Well, yeah, everybody knows that I hang out with
go
Jill. Basically, go play with anti-derivative Jill, also Cinema Gulp and the Phantasmagorium.
Ista, you plugging anything?
I would just say, come say hi to me on Twitter. It's the same name, and all I get are porn spam bots. So
Same here. Get loads of them now.
little.
It's just shit.
I'm going through some medical issues, and when those get sorted, I am hoping to actually start streaming. So
Okay.
I have a channel, but there's nothing on it.
Speedy recovery, mate. Okay.
Yeah.
Prof, you're plugging yet?
Yeah, we have Tuesdays and Thursdays on my live stream channel, Price of Reason Live. We have the Night Owl. That's me and Professor R2 and sometimes other guests. And then a bunch of other streams. On Thursdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, I'm on Nerd Wars. And then there's 10 p.m. on Thursdays Eastern Time. There's the Quantum Leap stream. And I'm also on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
We should have gone to 3 hours, but never mind. That is it, folks. Trev is doing his gig tomorrow. Wayfair is doing his gig straight after this. Trev is doing his gig tomorrow. I've been told B-Sup is on. We're back Wednesday. Open bar Thursday morning. Back at the weekend. If we don't see you during the week, folks, have a great week. Tally bye, everybody.
Ta-da.
Cheers.
Timing.